Well, I hope you've missed us because it's been 2 weeks since Film Club. So we had a little bit of a not cancellation. Somebody was in the UK and it wasn't me, Sandy.
Yeah, but we would have been here 2 minutes and now it's now it's 2 weeks and 20 minutes. We would have been here 20 minutes earlier.
That is true.
So,
that's my fault. Oh, it's not my fault. That was my computer's fault. It went, you have an update now. So everybody, I hope you've done your homework because you had 2 weeks to watch a 2-hour movie. So that had to be thinking. But Sandy, you're back home. How are you?
I am well rested and well traveled and had a fantastic time, including spending some time with you and your significant other. So ready to get back to work, I guess, now.
Yes. Jay.
I'm well. All's good in Nerd Takes World and ready to talk about this movie.
And a lot of probably Santa talk as well afterwards.
Yep. Quite a bit of Santa today. So that was a lot of fun.
Yes. But yeah, so this was my sports pick. Now I said when there was lucky enough, I took Jays of Ice. Literally started a spreadsheet. I have started a spreadsheet.
It helps.
It does help. And there was only 2 options. And the other one was ice hockey. And I think we all know what that was. And that's on the wheel. But this one is Warrior. And this was on the wheel when I think, wasn't it? So we've taken this off the wheel.
I think so, yeah.
So Nick Nolte, Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and the 2011 Warrior movie. So yeah, I'm guessing this was very much where the hype around the UFC kind of started getting quite big. It started internationally, it started getting quite good.
Even here, to me, at least in my memory of it, I mean, it was always something that you knew of, coming out of the 90s into the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But around this time, I remember being, fresh out of high school and just it was the hottest thing. All my friends were getting into it. I had even taken a few Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes because we were all just kind of getting hyped up on it and getting into it. So I
Wait
believe,
a minute.
at least for me, and they didn't continue very long. They did not continue very long.
I was thinking that is a picture of Jay on the right. That's his abs. He did the body shots.
No, they did not continue very long, but I did a few just because it was just the hottest thing out there right now. And in fairness, in terms of those classes, holy crap, they were beginner classes, but holy crap, is that sport tough? Even just to get through the stamina training stuff, my word. But yeah, this was kind of a movie that hit right at the sweet spot, I think, in that timing.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And it's things this is what a Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Atlanta movie. And did you, before we go on that, did you notice
Atlantic City was
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Yeah. The color palettes for each different places?
Well, you brought it up, so I do have to. I have to bring it up because, so for those not from the East Coast of the United States, Pennsylvania is a big state. 400 miles across. Pittsburgh is all the way to the west. Philadelphia is all the way to the east.
Oh, they make it sound like it's more sunnier it's sunny in Philadelphia, isn't it? Always sunny in Philadelphia.
304 miles apart, 4 hours and 45 minutes to drive. This film made it seem like Pops hopped in the car and just, took a quick
strolled over to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
But yes.
logistics and timing not quite right.
So I'm sorry. Go back to the color palette again. I was just that was one of
No,
my,
but that's funny. Then it should have been the other way around. If it's more west, then because the color palette in this is Pittsburgh is very. They got that grainy
Mhm.
Tigerland palette that Jay
Well, it's
hated.
the industrial, the Rust
Yeah.
Belt. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, Pittsburgh
And
is
then
the Rust Belt, and Philadelphia is like the business center.
Okay, that looked a bit more sunny. I suppose you want to kind of like.
I did create a
yeah.
graphic
Oh,
because I was
Oh,
gonna
nice. There we
bring
go.
it up.
Perfect. Perfect.
I was going to bring this up, but this is there's my little Maryland, right? I'm right below the
Well,
Mason-Dixon line there.
they do mention Baltimore, don't they, in the movie as well?
They
And
mentioned
other
Baltimore, and
places,
they mentioned
Camden.
Temple, where my daughter's going to school in Philadelphia. So they mentioned the rough kids from Temple, and I was like, yeah, there are some rough kids in Temple. But yeah, I did plan to share this because now, unfortunately, on Google Maps, once you use it for personal purposes, it starts to you can't not customize it. So all those little cameras, those are places where I've taken photos.
I was going to say, why
That's
has it got
awesome.
the Philadelphia Museum of Art? And I was like, it's Sandy.
It won't come
It's a
up.
museum.
Hershey
It's a
Park,
museum.
Philadelphia Museum of Art. I think it's probably Longwood Gardens on there. But anyway, it is not a short drive. You can see on here the various routes that are recommended from Pittsburgh, right next door to Ohio. This is the Rust Belt of the United States, the industrial steel, factories, all kinds of, coal over there. Philadelphia, banks, business, industry, of that type. So, yeah, it's not quite an easy short drive.
We can let them off. We can let them.
Yeah, we can. We can.
That's pick enough. I could literally, how many times, especially I think, what was it? One Mission Impossible one when they go through London. It's literally they take the bridge and end up in a completely different area of London. So you're like, you have to go pick it. We'll pick the faults anyway, like that. But yeah, this was my pick. Back to that. And I do like this movie. I'm going to put it out there straight away. But I was surprised. I must say, especially Jay, you kind of like these kind of movies, and Sandy, you like your Rocky. You never ever seen it.
I had never seen. I don't even think I've heard of it, and I just don't know. Well, maybe there's a reason why. When we get, we're going out of order, but when we get to the top films of 2011, there's two actually on the list that I would have definitely been first in line to see. So I just might not have thought about this film at all.
I kind of overlooked it personally because I remember at the time, this was an era where there was just like a lot of kind of cheesy movies were coming out, kind of aimed at like I want to say like maybe 18 to 23-year-old audience, where they were like these cheesy kind of fighting movies. Like there was a movie called Never Back Down. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it was a very cheesy fighting movie. And other ones like that. So I kind of, at first, when I saw the trailer for this, I recall thinking, I'm like, oh, this looks like another one of those cheesy movies, a cheesy fighting movie. So I kind of just overlooked it and didn't watch it at the time. And then not long after that, you started to hear the buzz and people being like, dude, you got to watch that movie. It's good. It's good. And I just kind of kept being stubborn because, I mean, it was the age. It was the age for me at the time. So I just kind of kept being stubborn. It was like, it's going to be one of those cheesy, never back down type of movies. I'm all set. Not going to watch it. And then kind of time went on, I just forgot about it. So I was so happy it came up. So I'm like, you know what? I remember people absolutely loving that movie, and I never gave it a fair chance because I was just being foolish. So it was good to give it a fair chance.
Okay, let's start off breaking down the movie. So Nick Nolte, and now I think he's just Pups. I don't think they call him anything but Pups, do they? I don't remember.
He has a name because his name is mentioned. I remember specifically, at least when
it's
Paddy.
Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they call Brendan, don't they, the Irish fighter, something, don't they, in one of the fights.
Yeah, but he's doing the wrestling stuff. They call him something, and they reference him by name. I just couldn't remember it.
Now, Sandy, I'm going to say wait to the end because I know it's one of your favorite novels. But we start off with him coming back from church, and he's in the car going home, and he's put his cassette player on, and they throughout the movie, but this is the first time we get narration of Moby Dick.
It took me a minute to understand because my brain was rejecting why is he listening to Moby Dick because of my, I don't want to call myself an expert, but I think I'm an expert on the book Moby Dick. And I couldn't figure out why it was in this film. And then it clicked about halfway through. So I won't say anything now. But there is a reason for it. Don't know if it's the best use of it, but he's listening to, he's listening to it. It's good, but it is a good book, and it's a good book to listen to. But I was like, there has to be a significance here. Now about halfway through.
Yeah, once you said So in this, he's from church and then he's going home. Now again, I'm guessing it's winter time thing because the night goes quite quick. Because when he comes home, and Tommy's at the door, it's nighttime. So it's day to night. So I'm guessing an hour away, and it's like very late. I don't care. I don't really mind this bit.
It does. To be fair, well, just to kind of put some to it, it does get pretty dark quick. Like I don't know. I'm assuming it's very similar in England as well. But here, once you hit like that 4 o'clock hour, by like 4:30, it's pitch black. So if you have even a 20-minute, 25-minute ride home, it could completely change.
Yeah. So we get Tommy. His son. He sitting there waiting for his don't know what you're gonna call it. His pups, isn't it? He's really he's got a bottle of drinking himself. He's bought himself a bottle. We said this. I said that you have a brown bag rule, don't you? Open alcohol in the streets on some places, or is that only in movies?
It's carried on.
Depends.
It's carried on. It really doesn't exist the way it used to. Yes, you can't drink alcohol in public, right? Public, drinking of alcohol.
Okay.
But the whole brown bag thing.
In some areas you can.
But the brown bag thing is from like the 1950s. So you just don't. If you're drinking out of a brown bag, now everybody knows you're drinking alcohol. So it doesn't make any sense.
That's what we said. You're not going to be drinking a bottle of Coke or Pepsi. You're not going to be like, have about a brown bag. They know what you're drinking. I was like, it's a bit odd.
Exactly. And it's not that it can't be seen. That doesn't solve the problem if you're drinking it out of a bag. You're still drinking it in public, so.
But so he's out. We find out quickly, when did you get home? So we kind of know he's been away from. I don't think at this point they say that he's a Marine. He knows he's been away for a while. He's estranged. He's not seen him in 15 years or 20 years. What are you doing here? And he's like, I just want to, is it okay to have a drink with me old man? And that's really what he says. And then he passes him a bottle of I'm guessing it's some kind of whiskey. Is this not your? Then he rejects it, and he's like, no, I don't do that anymore. And he's like, is this not your brand anymore? And he's like, no, I'm nearly 1,000 days. So he's on the straight away, he's an ex-alcoholic, so he's doing his steps. So it's like, and he invites him in, and this is where again you can see the relationship is not tight. Let's say that it's a strange plus 15, I suppose you want to call it. Now we have we get Tommy going around the room looking at all the photos that kind of the family. He looks at it, his brother Brendan and his new family. He kind of snaps and he sees his mum and all that. He even makes a comment of at one point, doesn't he, of like, oh, I don't have women anymore. And he's is that because there's at this day and age you can't find a woman that you can hit, so he's blatantly was a violent alcoholic. And we kind of very set up that Tommy left with the mum, and the dad was left with Brandon. And it's he's doesn't take it too well, does he? He's like, even though he's there, he doesn't really want to be there. He's angry, he's pissed. And he's just really sits there and has a go at Nick, Pups, Nick Nolte's character. And he just he takes it, and then Tommy falls asleep on the chair a bit out of wares, let's say that's the politest ways. But then I do like this, and then we kind of the setup of knowing the relationships are quite well, because then we get to the Brendan family. He's at one of the girls' birthday parties. Can't remember which one it is, and I always love this. This would be me and Jay 100% if we had girls.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a dad,
Yeah,
you do what comes with it.
I'm dressing up as a princess. Okay,
I can
so
see
today's
it
the
for
day.
sure.
Kids say no, it's your little
Which
girl.
one?
You gotta, you gotta be a good dad.
Sadie said which one which I can see it for sure. Which one can you see as dressing up as a princess?
Oh, both of you. Both of you for sure. If you had girls, because I think both of you would be wrapped around their little fingers. I just.
Oh,
I-
100%.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most
Uh-huh.
likely.
The boy is already the boys.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Exactly.
the one I have already has me wrapped around his finger.
But yeah, we find they're a bit short of cash. He's still, as most, I'm guessing a lot of fathers will do, is spoil their kids even though they don't have money. So they're a bit tight. They've both got second jobs. We kind of allude on that he's a teacher roughly, but we don't go there yet. But it's just showing the family dynamic of this little part. So we've got kind of two separate entities now. Now it's quite good because this part we don't actually know he's his brother, but it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I think they set it up quite obvious. Then we go back, like this is what I was saying about the color palette. Nice, sunny, and then we go back to that grain.
Yeah,
it's that grain. And it's like that. So yeah, we go back to now. Tommy is looking for a gym, really a fighting gym, and he's in his own old neighborhood, so he goes to his old gym. What's been kind of taken over. He signs up. That's really it. But we get like kind of the guy at the front, and we find out really quick it's like a mixed martial arts place.
Yeah,
and then
it used to be like a boxing gym back,
Yeah.
I think, when it was his gym.
Yeah, and then it cuts through. Now we get some back and forth, so I'm going to skip because this bit gets a bit convoluted. And then we get, of course, back to Brendan, who's a physics teacher, and he's doing a physics class. So we're kind of getting the only way best way I could explain it, and it wasn't me, it was Jade. It's showing you the crossroads they took in life,
right, where the paths took them.
Yeah, the path took them is literally they've got straight away. One went with the mum, one went with the dad, and then what happened?
Well, and it's kind of the irony of it a little bit too, because he went with the Tom Hardy's character, well, actually Tommy, goes with the character with the parent who was the victim in the situation, and his life ends up as it does. Meanwhile, the one who stays with the dad, ends up in a better spot, not because of the dad, but the kind of irony of like, oh, go figure. That's how it works out for the two of them.
Yeah.
But you find out a little bit later why his choices to stay with the dad was, and then it makes sense as to why his life ends up where it is.
Yeah. So now we know he's a working hard physics teacher, a bit down on the money, and then we get back to we see some fighting with Mad Dog. I can't remember his second name. Mad Dog.
Something or other.
This is Mad Dog, who's just kicked the crap out of one of his sparring partners, and he's promoter or trainer, trying to get another guy. We need somebody else. He just knocked him out. Where Tommy looks over and is like, yeah, I can jump in. And to the point where they're like, go away. And then Mad Dog says something to him, like, I can't remember, he says like something like, because he turns his back and like, you're a bit of a coward. And then he's like, I'll keep him warm for you. I'll keep him warm. If you want me to keep him warm for you, I'll keep him warm. And then it's like, well, has he signed a waiver? Yep. All right, let's go then. Have you fought? Yep, let's do it. And he goes in and he literally literally destroys the guy. But whilst it's happening, one of the receptionists, I want to call it, is filming for YouTube. So that's always handy. So he kicks the things. I do like, I don't know why, I don't remember 2011 the technology being that bad. It's still some of the phones. I'm like, I'm sure.
You know, it's funny you say that because I think, well, at least for me, I remember because I'm like, I did not have an iPhone till like a couple years after that. So yeah, I would have been filming
you
off
still
a
had,
crappy
like-
little flip phone. Yeah,
Yeah,
something
but you
like
still
that.
had,
I
like,
mean,
So
Color
let
phone.
me
yeah, it would have been
go
in
back
color, but
there.
it wouldn't have been great.
Yeah.
It would still
The-
be, you know.
The film was 2011, but okay, maybe I'm not sure if I did this the right way, but the film is 2011, but I was thinking it was more around like depicting things around like 2002, 2003 because of the military scenes, which would have been 1999,
So yeah, so
2000.
he'd been 2004. Yeah, so if he's been in, so yeah, he'd been 2004. He'd been in. Yeah, because one of his things is 6 months. So you'd look in Iraq. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, you'll be right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, however, I still don't know if the
Okay.
technology would have been that bad.
So
Even another 7 years, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
I kind of pictured it in like the 08, 09 era ish because I thought the reference to like losing the house and all that. But that could have also just been
It could have been the
singular thing
crap.
for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, because we get the next scene is the mortgage advisor,
Right,
isn't it?
right.
They're like he's and I love this because even again, this we know your medical insurance system, and even that we had a kind of a heated. Oh my god, why like that? Because you know this, like he's in debt with his bank with the mortgage and all that because he had to pay for his. We don't know what his daughter had a heart issue, so like
that is right though. There was reason for the financial crisis on the home, so maybe it is a little early and has nothing to do with that.
Maybe, but it could have been tied in. It could have been, yeah. So yeah, it could have been, yeah. It's the thing, but yeah, we get this, and then he's very quickly found out is like the bank has given him advice. No, but it was you told us to do it. Yeah, but it was advice, and you chose.
I just gave you options. Yeah, they kind of nailed the slimy side of the bank in just this one scene.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that just makes anyone's blood boil thinking about being in that situation.
But it's like a shit one. Like, don't get like they literally 90 days, get us the money, or we're gonna get repossessed. Or your other option is bankruptcy, and that is it. It's like, what do you take? You know, it's literally it's a terrible situation. But so we now know Tommy's what he's doing, and we know the hardship of Brendan here as well. And then we kind of get back to the dad who's now kind of watching old
wrestling. I think it was a state tournament.
Kids, state tournament, wherever it
Tommy's state tournament match.
Tommy's, then he gets but he's like, reunited to Tommy, so he's kind of reminiscing, let's say that.
Well, in a quick little thing here, because I kind of want to talk about it as a different point towards the end of the episode today. They put a little line in there about his father again, about how it's like, I mean, at this point you understand that clearly his father, something went wrong there. Well, he references the hitting of the mother as well, so his father wasn't a good guy. But you're not getting full details onto exactly what happened and like the extent of any of it. But even in this little video that he's watching, the old wrestling footage, you hear the commentators say something like, "Oh, his father, he's trained by his father. God, I'm forgetting his name again. Whatever, Paddy Connolly." And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, his controversial father." So like they're putting these little hints of, again, of the character buildup of the dad that I think kind of comes in later in the movie, which I in a way that I like their direction on.
Yeah, because he's like I think there's one little thing where they quickly say he's an ex-boxer, but very quickly.
Yeah, ex-boxer and controversial and
maybe through a fight. You don't know. It's like,
right.
I always laugh when it's like this. You always get it in American like this kind of like dads and all that. The TV dinner. And I remember Jay's like, one day I bought a TV dinner, and she was like, I will never eat.
I mean, they're not good at all. Like we have what's called the Hungry Man.
The Hungry Man turkey dinner when there's nothing left. See,
it's in those circumstances.
We always keep one in the bottom of the freezer just in case the world comes to an end. You want that Hungry Man turkey dinner. Yes.
Yeah. It's something. There's something to try once in your life.
I'm guessing like over the Americans didn't invent the microwave as it is. It was invented by another country, was it? Just for this purpose.
I mean, we definitely get a lot of use out of us. That's for sure.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why you don't like them, because they're better in the oven.
I will say I actually don't even use the microwave. I either use an air fryer or an oven because
the Hungry
microwave's
Man is
terrible.
better in the oven. So I highly recommend for those of you who have never tried a Hungry Man turkey dinner. Now the rest of it, like I wouldn't go near the meatloaf or the Salisbury steak, but the turkey dinner,
Salisbury steak gave me a chill just thinking about it.
Just wait, just to let you know, Sandy's pushing for Film Club to be sponsored by Hungry Man.
I'll take Hungry Man. Yeah, that works.
I'll take it.
What's the other one, Sandy? Is Gordon's
Banquet.
Is it Gordon's with the fisherman?
Gordon's
you guys have
fish
that
sticks.
One?
Yes.
Yeah, there used to be ones for that as well. Yeah, there's
Trust
a few.
Gordon's
Banquet.
Fisherman.
Yep, that was another one.
Banquet
oh my God,
meals.
I really want to take Jay around a British supermarket. There's so much fresh. Where is
it's all
it?
fresh. It's so wonderful. It's one of the first things I do when I go to London is go to the Sainsbury's next to the hotel. Yep, it's all fresh. Or Waitrose.
But whilst Waitrose,
see, your champagne at Waitrose.
I'm upmarket now with Waitrose.
My little champagne's at Waitrose. Yes,
it does. It is good. But yeah, so we get now a knock on the door, where the trainer manager of
Boyd.
Mad Dog.
What a name, Colt Boyd.
Colt Boyd. He asked for Tommy Reardon, isn't it?
Reardon.
His name is Tommy Connolly. And there's like, and then I'm saying like, the dad did right. Really, is like, can you tell me something about him? I'm like, who are you? Like, no, I'm not. Like, see you later. Like, you don't know. He could be like, he could be a bailiff or whatever, couldn't he? Like something you got in.
It could be anything.
Dodgy,
absolutely,
whatever.
Anything.
Like you've just come back from tour. You know, I don't know. I don't know any of your background for the last, decade. And this random person goes, "Can you tell me something about him?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's right to close the door in his face. He's being a bit rude." But I'm like, "Yeah, it's literally kind of the right thing to do, though. I wouldn't tell anybody about my kid if like you don't know who that bloody hell it is."
Right.
So yeah, he does the right thing. But yeah, when we go back to Brendan, who let's get to a little bit, but he's now kind of lying to his missus, and but not lying. He's saying that he's going to be a bouncer, like he's going to go job thing, and then in the car park, it looks like a kind of like a biker outlet, or
There's
strip
a strip
club. It's strip, there's a fight going on, so it's one of those. It's kind of like you remember Spider-Man. You win the free, you win the money.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. And he goes and he's does his thing. Now we kind of later know we know he can fight. He's he's ex UFC, isn't he? So but this we get comes back bruised and things where we know I'm guessing his wife, she looks after the kids in the day, and then she's got a I'm guessing waitressing job, because he even says where's the rest of the skirt. So she wears, to get the tips. So they got two jobs each really. At this point, he has to kind of own up that, he's fighting again. She said, well, this is what we didn't want for the kids. We agreed that, you don't want to come home to the beaten up a father, I suppose, like that. So but he also hands a wad of, I'm guessing 100 bills in it, whatever it is.
I think it was like 500 or something, maybe something like that. I think he says it afterwards.
So that, but then we go back, and then we get Paddy. He's been come to the got a call off Tommy to go meet up in the morning. And again, I like this because it's like you can see where the estranged is. Like, look, I wouldn't be here if you told the guy about a thing, but I'm looking to fight again. And there was one thing you were good at, is training. I don't want any other of the bullshit. Anything,
there's connection.
And he keeps on trying to connect with his son. And he's like, no, like that. He pushes him back every time. It's like that. And then, you know, then it's, well, then a Paddy really goes in hard. And he's like, stop taking those pills. And I'm guessing they're steroid pills or what? I don't, painkillers. I don't know.
I think they're painkillers,
I would venture to
probably.
guess painkillers of some sort.
Yeah,
A bit of a cocktail of them.
Yeah. And he's got 3 vials. And he's like, when you came in, you were chink, chink, chink. So he's like that, and he puts him across, and he's like, "But yeah, you to do this properly, is you bunk down, you get a diet, do it properly." And he goes straight. He's like, "Well, if you're going to act like it, I can act like it." So yeah, it's like they're it's not even father and son; it's literally fighter and trainer. That's the attitude of Tommy.
Yeah,
yeah, it's literally this is business. This is to win some money. It's to get me into to get me fighting again. Then we go back, of course, to then Brendan, who's goes into school, a bit bruised. Let's say that, where the students kind of one of them says, "My brother was at the." I don't know. I'm going to call it the City Twister, wherever it was called. I know that's
okay. You can go ahead and call it whatever you want.
You don't know what the City Twister is? Come on, movie reference.
Well, we don't say that in YouTube in the United States for sure. So be careful there.
City Twister is a YouTube. I'm sorry, a film reference. Come on, name the film.
I don't know.
Oh my! Come on, chat, help them out. Come on. I'm going to give you Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh,
George Clooney's in it.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yay!
Gotcha. Okay,
up,
fair enough.
That's the bar they meet up at. Dusk.
That is true.
There we go. Now, then we get the principal. And this guy, I don't know the actor's name.
Everything.
Yes.
And you know him immediately when you see it.
And he's the lovable, always the kind of happy, lovable, goey person. Yeah.
And he's in one film on the Wheel of Film. And you'll never guess which one it is. It's Chaplin. He's in Chaplin, which is on the Wheel of Film. None of his other films are on the Wheel, and he's mostly known for television. And he's been in every single show. But the one film that I remember him, and when I saw the film, I was like, oh my gosh, he's in a movie, was Transformers, because he plays Mr. Witwicky.
I was going to say, I always think of him as
a dad.
yes,
he does. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's never, to me, he had never been in any other films. And probably at that point, I hadn't seen Chaplin. And I don't even know if I'd recognize him in Chaplin, because he plays J. Edgar Hoover during the Red Scare part. But yeah, I'm like, oh, he's in films now. Mr. Witwicky.
Oh. But yeah, so he gives him a little signal. 1 hour, my
I like
office.
his character. I like his character.
Yeah.
He plays a good.
It's kind of perfect. He kind of plays the likable kind of like, I got to do something I don't like, which is to suspend you, but like I am still pulling for you type of thing. I do like his kind of support to the story.
Can you give me something? Like, like the rumors out there, and he's like, and he's even the guy, says the what they call it, the guy turns up. You know what they call him?
Superintendent.
Superintendent, not been in a school since 9/11.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, so yeah.
And I like this character, and I like that they kept him in it. As we'll talk about later on, I'm sure. But he's kind of in it towards the end, like all the way through. Like he's a support to Brendan's character, and I really like.
Yeah. That's it. Like they must be, school, like I suppose teacher friends as well. And it's like,
and that's kind of the thing I think they show you with a lot of Brendan's scenes in the school is that the students like him. Like he's a likable teacher that all the students like. His coworkers like him. It looks like obviously this guy's the principal. He likes him. He's trying to help him out. Fair enough, Daryl.
It's better than Madonna.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, but I think even like when he's like, look, you're gonna get a bollocking, I suppose your best way to put it. He's like, and he turns to him, he's like, after he said like, oh, I used to be one of those animals, and after that, he's like, what, UFC, really? And he's like, I'm impressed now.
UFC,
like
huh?
even right. I bet, But again, we get this like family like dominate. It's like, I like this. What you doing? And it's like the kids have got a musical recital, and they like one of the legs off the pianos have
The
gone
piano,
off,
yeah.
so he has to fix it like that. But she's kind of said, "Well, you're been in touch. You're suspended until next semester. You'll be back, but you're suspended without pay." So now they're kind of in the crap. Let's say that. So they kind of, what do we do? But then we get the duck cockaroo wake up. How
Rooster.
annoying would this be?
I'd be
The
pissed.
duck
Okay,
song.
I thought something was like, I didn't realize it was him singing, and I thought another video started playing like an ad or something. I was like, "Oh, did an ad pop up?" Like, I couldn't figure it out, and then I
Do
realized,
I have another
oh,
window open here?
good
What's going
grief.
on?
Like,
Yeah.
did he do this as a kid? Right? Was this his way
Yeah.
of waking them up when they were
Guessing.
kids? I don't know.
Ducky do like that, and cockaroo. Oh god! And he's like, it's not even, and it wasn't even 5 o'clock yet. And it's like, oh, it's like, oh god! He's like, leaving the coffee. Just go. But yeah, it's the worst. Oh my, yeah, the worst wake up call a parent could ever do. Even if you're in your like, I'm guessing he's like what, late 20s, supposed to be in this.
Well, even if you liked each other, I'd still be pissed. Never mind when
Oh
your
my
kid can't
God,
stand you.
Oh, that's it. But then we get, what we kind of things get to Iraq. So we get very shifted quickly, and because you don't know really about it, and then we get Lance Corporal, I can't remember his surname, gets the dispatches, goes back, and then one of the I don't know, like soldiers or whatever, Marines, is looking at one of the computers and watching YouTube. Do you know what really pissed me off about this? It's gonna be really silly. It's really silly. One of my little picks, that is the wrong laptop they used to use. I'm like, it's like really annoyed me.
Never known.
I know.
Well,
No, because we tested it once like that, and what we tried to do is break them. So because they're so, like, you can throw them as hard as you can against the wall, and they literally will not break. They're encased in this like rubber thing, like everything. So you can throw it as far. And we used to get the laptops when you're bored and try and break them.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, because you're bored, and then like that. But they would bounce, boom, and then everybody would be like, like that, and not having the actual correct rubber like around the board. Literally, I went, that's not a military computer. It's like really annoyed me. But I did like the old YouTube logo.
Man,
The
that
old
was
logo.
like, how much nostalgia was in that? I haven't
But
seen that in ages.
I think the Dell logo is incorrect. I think that's the new Dell logo.
Yeah,
Dell
maybe
logo
There we go.
2001-ish. Yeah, it was the crooked.
Nope.
I think the old logo was the crooked logo. Anyway, not
okay.
to be pedantic, but but
Yeah.
you know, and actually it makes me think now. I did not notice a lot of product. This movie could have been full of product placement, and it wasn't. Like maybe I didn't notice it. Maybe as you show more
It's
pictures,
so
I'll
quick.
see it.
It's so quick. You would.
But like
wouldn't notice
athletic
it.
brands, you would think I'd be seeing like.
You get the tops later, don't you? But you would have to be in. You would have to know the UFC logos and fighters. I'm guessing later.
Those, yeah. But like
yeah.
you might see the, sponsored by Nike or Adidas or whatever. So maybe we do, but I think just now it's made me think, hey, I don't think I saw a lot of product placement like in other films,
I think they went for the UFC gear, didn't they?
Oh, for sure.
But in this, we find the Mad Dog Tommy fight, and the Lance Corporal runs off. Now, I'm going to pick on this bit. I don't get why when he runs off, and then he goes and they have the night vision tapes.
Mm-hmm.
They have it. He's a Lance Corporal, and he has it under his bed. It kind of annoyed me. This bit is one, and I will go on to the later bit. Is would be classified?
Yeah.
Why have you got it under your bed like that. You've got tapes, and it's not okay. You've done it off things, but then you find it's night vision. So he has like he's officially recording it. And who's that? Is that Tommy? Oh, I'm not too sure. And that's the best picture like that. Like,
How do you know? I guess you know the man who saved your life. I
Right.
guess you do know. I guess you
yeah,
know.
you
When
do
you
know.
know, you
I
know.
guess it. Yeah, you know. But yeah, this is the only bit that bugged me a little bit. But that's because military. I'm guessing most people go, yeah, that's fine. It just picking because I've seen the movie a few times.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's going. But now we get oh, I forgot his name.
Frank, actually, just
yeah.
they do
Just
a
Frank.
few people in this movie that just use the same name. Tom and
Frank and
Tom's
Frank.
Tom Hardy. Frank is
Yeah.
Frank. There's another one that I was just looking at IMDb. There's like a Sam who's also really named Sam. Like, interesting that you guys just didn't come up with different names.
Just for like, that would do.
Yeah, your name's fine.
That'll do.
Just use that.
Yeah.
Now, this gentleman looks so, and I'm saying this with love and respect, so quintessentially Italian that I looked him up to see if he had played in The Sopranos at all, in maybe one of the background gangsters, and he hasn't. But when I was looking that up, I saw that he did win an award by from the Italian American Association for all of his portray. He tends to portray. Because he's a real fighter, he tends to portray people who, are fighters, boxers, martial artists. He's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
He's got
he
a minor
was Crossbones.
Crossbones in the Captain America.
I think his name isn't Frank Grillo the name of? No,
It's
Grimmo.
Frank Grillo. Yeah,
Grimmo was his name, the last name, as Crossbones, I believe.
Yeah, it's Grillo in real life. Yep. But he's not. I had expected to see him in more things because he has that look, but no, he's not. And by the way, so this was 2011. He's 60 now. So he was okay. So 2011 is my brain 14 years ago. So he would have been 45. Okay. I was going to say because he's 60 now. I was like, oh my God, he looks good. But I guess it was in his 40s. He looked to be in his 40s. Okay.
Yeah. So he's a Beethoven man. We find out. But Brendan is there to
listen to the music. Listen to the music.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah. To can you train me again? And he's like, I forgot his wife's name, but does she know? Like that, yeah. And he's telling him like, well, first of all, he's quite good. He's like, I'm hard up on money. He's like my place is money tight. How much do you need? And he's like, no, I'm not here for a loan. So they've got a good friendship because the first thing he's offered him, look, if you need the cash, you need the cash. But he's like, no, I'm not here for a loan. I want you to train me. And he takes the piss a bit that you're doing the crappy fights in the parking lots. We can get you something better though. But yeah, it's your time is done. You're a family man now. But he's like, well, if you want to fight, you want to fight. So yeah, he's got his old trainer back.
Did we mention that at this point he's suspended from teaching?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I don't think I
suspended without play.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't sure if we mentioned it.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm guessing this is the only thing he else knows, really, doesn't he? So yeah, it's and then we get what Sandy's going to do. Might bring up the map. Now we don't actually know what time he left, though. We don't know what time he left. So what 5 hours?
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
4 hours and 45 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's a little ridiculous.
That's a 10-hour drive to go to and from. That's a lot of driving.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, he turns up at and it's again this is I like this scene because it's again he's not just estranged from his Tommy. It's also the other son as well. And he's like, we have a rule. You call or you use the postal service. That's the rule. So we know, and Tommy and him, later, they kind of something happened. Something when he was drinking happened when the youngest girl the younger girl weren't born. So we know there's a timescale of at least around about 3-4 years. That's he did something and he can't forgive him for that. So yeah, the rule is you call or you use the postal service. You do not turn up. And he kind of tries to I think he says break bread. I've been 1,000 days sober today. and then it's not working, I suppose, like that. And then he brings up, by the way, Tommy's back. And he's like that. So he nearly approaches and well, Tommy wants to see me. I'm here. Yeah, and that's really things. And and then it gets very like I see it a different way, and Jade saw it a different way, and it's quite good. I like the Nick Nolte character because at this you can either feel really a couple of, I'm guessing more than a way, because we had a discussion about is at this point when he sees the children and he's like, and he gets like, oh, who is this? It's just a friendly old man, like kind of thing. And he's like, oh, is that such I've never seen him, and he starts to well up. Now you got to take it as things that is the bad forgivable to bring him in the house, or is it kind of forgive and forget, or do you stand your ground of like whatever you do now you haven't changed? So I like that aspect that you get from the other characters to Nick Nolte, because he's trying, but is he trying? Is it just that he could switch one moment? I love that dilemma in your head. Is like, oh, just let him say hello, or has it gone past the point of letting him? So it's quite. I like that.
No, I agree. And actually, this is what I wanted to talk about with his character, and I kind of love how they. Excuse me. I love how they approach Nick Nolte's character and his past in this, because they don't really tell you exactly what things he did. They just give you vague little bits of it in terms of the comment that Tom Hardy makes in the beginning, plus the thing we hear while he's watching the old wrestling matches. It gives you these little bits of it. But this is the scene where it kind of drove it home for me, how they were handling him. It's that, I like that they let your mind kind of wonder a little bit to think how bad was it actually really. And the way they kind of choose, I think, to show how bad it is how hard he's trying to get his sons, like to just get his sons to give him a chance again. Obviously you could just say 1,000 days sober. That's one thing. But you could see stories where even that's not enough. I think the idea that, he's sober, and it's not just sober for him. He's sober because he wants to try to be back in his kid's life. And the extent and I think the, I'm trying to figure out how to put it in the right words, how hard and how badly he wants that kind of shows you how horrible he acted in the past, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of all the guilt is caught up to him, and he wants nothing more than to just let his kids know that he's a different person now. And he wants it so bad that it shows me that, wow, you must have been absolutely terrible if you're giving this much effort towards it, even on top of your 1,000-day sobriety, and your kids still have to treat you like this because you were just that awful. So I like the way they let your mind kind of wonder, how bad was this guy, without saying, oh, it was this instance specifically where he hit mom and then this, and that happened. Or even like you just referenced with his daughter, how he doesn't know the youngest daughter of his granddaughter, rather. He doesn't know this youngest granddaughter but he does know the elder granddaughter. So there was some point where Brendan was still letting you, even as an adult, after everything you did when Tommy and the mother left, Brendan was still letting you near his family or around his family to some degree. And at this point, even with your ability to still call and post, you don't even know who the youngest daughter is. You know nothing about her. I'm not even sure if he knows his name. The pictures he had at the house that Tommy was going through, I don't think had any of them had her in it. So like there was another thing that this guy did awful in his life that was bad enough that you now don't even know or have any communication with your family from this side, when you did, at least to the point of his eldest granddaughter. So it's just all these little layered ways they kind of let you know, like, yeah, he was an absolutely awful person. So even if you feel bad for him in this moment now, which I did, because what I'm seeing is just the apologetic human basically groveling for a chance to be part of his family again. So I can feel for that because I don't know the history of this guy. Brendan's character, you don't feel like, oh, Brendan, you're being a jerk, just let him in, because I also look at it as like, well, shit, dude, you must have done something so bad, because I also know that this is a good guy. And if he's being this rigid and not letting you around his family, then you really must have done something awful. So yeah. This was the scene where I was like, damn, I really love how they're approaching these two kids' relationship with their father.
Yeah, it's good because you get Brendan is very, look, I'm not going to cut you out, but there's rules. Right. There's rules you phone. I love that. Like,
and even within those strict rules,
Yeah.
he still isn't like involved in
No.
the family because you didn't know anything
No.
about the little girl. So
No, so it's like,
really
yeah, you can
interesting.
call, you can things, but that you do not have full contact, you know, like
Right.
that. And then Tommy's just come back, and then I've not had contact with you at all. What you did was so bad. You know, it's literally I'm using you, and we know why he's kind of using him. It's like a little bit later, but it's, you know, there's very two aspects of the different relationship. It's great. It's a great kind of stuff, and like how Nick Nolte kind of plays that role. It's
Oh,
like
when you hear him get welled up in his throat as he's like, is that the little one?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that it got me.
It's
I'm
great.
like, oh man,
Yeah.
this
It's like,
it's
because
just the sadness of a dysfunctional family.
yes, 100%. Yeah, it's and he just plays that kind of lost kind of soul, I suppose you want to call it, throughout the years. And then he's got he believes he's got like another, I suppose he thinks he's got a second chance because of the, you know, the AA and like finding God, or whatever it is. But yeah, his sons are like, it's too little too late, really. They're like, both of them.
Well, they'll even throw his sobriety and his finding his religion. They'll throw it right in his face of like, oh yeah, now you've decided to do it. Well, now it's not good enough. It really just it drives home the emotional impact of what the dysfunction was in this family.
But from that, we get now back to I forgot his name, Sandy. What was his full name?
Colt.
Colt. There is a, what we kind of hear, there is a, we see some posters and we see some things a little bit of on TV and things, but he's got him into the big fight, you know, because of the YouTube we've got him into Sparta. It's a all or nothing kind of fight. We don't know much about it, but he's like, well, you got to say thank you. It's, you know, 10%, and he just walks kind of off, and he walks off to make a phone call. And this is where we kind of get now a little bit of why Tommy's there, kind of, but ish. But now we go to El Paso in Texas, where he phones his the soldier, Marine in arms, I suppose, like that, who died in their last tour. And this is the wife, and he's literally phoning to see how everything is. Really, he's you can tell by his how he talks to her. He's happy to speak to him, but there's that kind of guilt.
Yeah,
I suppose you want to over that, you know, how's the kids and all that, and then she's still reminiscing about her husband to him. So it's like that. And this is Manny. And this is the first time where we get Tommy's character kind of brought down a level, I suppose, humanity level, like that. We've seen him really being a bit of an arse, but when he's speaking to her, he's kind of, you know, he's a bit more happy that he's speaking to her. He's like, you know, this is his family.
It's his softer side.
Yeah. Yes. So we get that, and then we kind of get, you know, the pictures. So we get what, you know, we blatantly see. Yeah, this is the family that I'm guessing that he had, you know, for the last 15 years, and we get that later. The brother in arms. Yes. And I'm going to end the poll in a minute, because then we get the kind of training moments of now we kind of got Tommy going to Sparta and things, but there is been an announcement is somebody's coming. I'm not been this is the Rocky 3 moment. They did this for like, you know,
I loved it though. He's one of my I love that they did that, and I love that they picked who they picked to do it, which we'll go with the poll in a minute, just because he was his whole gimmick was so opposite of this. That it just made me laugh.
So the poll was, which real life's wrestling superstar is the undefeated Russian Cobra? That we got 3 in the things. Shawn Michaels, the Ultimate Warrior, that would have made sense, except for he's dead. Razor Ramon, and Jay, who is it?
None other than Kurt Angle. the guy who won an Olympic gold medal with a broken neck, and
Yep.
he would never miss a chance to tell you about it. He was one of my all-time, still is to this day, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. He was phenomenal.
Because he could wrestle. That's
well,
because
well,
he could
it was
wrestle.
his
Yeah.
natural wrestling
Yeah.
abilities. Like he was such a good tactician in terms of his moves and his moveset. But it was also like he was I mean, obviously he was an Olympic gold medalist, insanely athletic. He could do flips off the top rope. I mean, such an athletic guy. And to me, one of WWE's greatest heels. He played the bad guy as well as anybody and possibly better than anybody. He was just so damn good at it. But yeah, that's my little wrestling gushing moment.
And you know, he doesn't actually have any lines.
Nope, and that's probably well. I mean, he can do wrestling acting, but probably for the better in a real movie.
Yeah, and I was like, and I wonder if they were like, do a Russian accent, and he just couldn't do one.
He can definitely do the kind of promos and vignettes that they do and the sketch things that they do for wrestling. He can do that acting, but when it comes to, and he's obviously great with the physical, physical side of trying to do UFC movie. But yeah, maybe they had some lines and they just thought, yeah, you know what, let's just
maybe they just went, I would break you. That would have been great. Literally just gone, sod it, let's do it. Literally, maybe they didn't went, oh, cut that out. Let's things. But Sandy, did you know who this was? Are you a wrestling
No idea.
fan?
I'd heard the name
okay.
Kurt Angle. I'd never seen him in anything. So if I had just seen him, I wouldn't know who that is. Nope.
No.
Oh, I spotted him right in the trailer. I was like, I had no idea Kurt Angle was in this.
It's great. But now we get kind of the training. I don't want to call it
montage,
montage, because they go like little screens. So we get
a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, Brendan's kind of fighting in the ring whilst he's training, but he's training with what we kind of little bit is he's not the pick for Sparta. It's another guy, and I can't remember his name. That they're kind of going back, and we see Tommy training, kind of train. Now, if you actually think about it, Tommy is training the Rocky way because he's training very old school, and Tommy is kind of training the Drago way because he's got all the equipment, all of the trainers, got all the modern stuff. And that's it. But yeah, it's this guy. They go on a running
they like
cross country
and stuff.
Yeah, and he does his hamstring, whatever he does something to his leg, doesn't he? But he pulls something.
I thought he broke something. I could be wrong, but I thought he broke something.
Maybe they didn't really show it. They show him in agony, don't they? So it's got to be bad. And then they go to St.
Ignatius Hospital.
Where, and that is I'm guessing Philadelphia.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's real or not.
There we go. So, and this is where once they find out, is where Brendan, look, I want to fight. I know it's the wrong time. Put me in. So yeah, he's like, and I'd say like, was it you got a better chance of starting a boy band? So I'm guessing on this, he is got to be. I'd say when he left, we know he's 16. I'm guessing minimum maybe 4 years. So he's just maybe 5 years difference between their Tommy and him, because I'm guessing he's too old because he's his trainers kind of don't do it. He's not at his age peak, to be at UFC. So I'm guessing at this, if Tommy, let's say, is 28, he's mid 30s. I'm guessing that's what he's supposed to be.
I guessed probably. I thought maybe a little older, maybe 30, closer to 37, 38.
I was thinking 35. Really I was thinking
somewhere in that range. So
Tommy's late 20-30s then,
right.
Yeah.
So, but they also referenced the fact too that even when he was in his prime in his MMA, he was kind of a middle of the pack fighter. He was barely over 500 in his fights, and I think he even makes a joke if you did this in your prime, you wouldn't have a shot. Never mind now. So,
but the other guy, the commentator, doesn't it, later will say that is I remember he was unforgettable. So
which I remember pointing out that is a pretty good insult. I never heard that one before. I'm that is a pretty good one.
Yeah, I remember you, but things. But yeah, he gets the call of he's in. His wife, we haven't really seen but only a couple of shots, but she's in house, if anybody remembers. She gets pissed off and we're supposed to make these decisions together. I thought it was that. He's like, well, I'm going. we haven't got any choice. It's for the money, you know. But it's all or nothing, really, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
Except for
yeah,
exposure. I mean, you don't win the
Yeah.
money, but you're in it to get
Oh
the
yeah,
exposure as well. Because
you're
even
gonna
the guy
get
who
some
comes in
good.
But
second,
well, right, and that's the thing. But even at this point, like, I mean, we have a good idea of where this story's going. But at this point, you got to look at his character's perspective, like, because even the coach says it to him. He's like, "Why are we going to go down there for you to get tapped out in 5 seconds? That's not going to be good for either one of us." Because in this sport, it is a lot of, you know, what have you done recently? What was your last fight? And it can give you it can give you exposure, but maybe not the type you want if you go in there and embarrass yourself. So it's still, you know, it's taking a huge risk, even if it's like, oh, if I don't win, you know, it's some eyes on me fighting, but you better fight well, because if it's eyes on you in the wrong way, that's not going to do anything for you either.
But now we get to, lucky enough, I've been rewatching Bulwark Empire. So
there you go.
I still have to start that one. I haven't gotten around to it to this day.
Good.
Steve Buscemi is just
my list of games, movies, and TV shows to watch just never gets any smaller.
Oh, that's good. Who's been there?
I have not been to Atlantic City, actually. I haven't.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in a rush either.
Years ago, when they tried to have that renaissance, you know, with a few additional casinos, it's just, I don't care for it. But what I really noticed here was that they were focusing on the Resorts Hotel, which is the oldest one on the boardwalk. It is the original. It used to be called Merv Griffin's Resorts International. Because if they had panned out to some of the other casinos, they're very different today than they would have been in, you know, even like a few years before 2011 is exactly when a lot of them went way downhill, like way downhill. So
maybe they must have reinvested now, because one of the FIFA World Cup matches is in this city.
Oh my God. Well, but see, it's because Atlantic City is a short drive to because it's part of the Philadelphia metropolitan area, even though it's like an hour and a half away. It's the Philadelphia area that's going to get the World Cup. So there's 3 or 4 different venues around there. Yeah, it would be probably Eagles, the Franklin Field, and then something outside of Atlantic City. But yeah, not my cup of tea. You know, you go to these places, even though like I've been to Vegas and not into the gambling piece, but you go for the spectacle, right? In Vegas, you go to see all the stuff. And I wouldn't go back there either. There is nothing to see in Atlanta. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm, you know, bashing Atlantic City. Anyone's listening.
We are not sponsored by the tourism board.
But what I do like are all the little seaside towns north, you know, or north and south of Atlanta. Like Wildwood is awesome, and Wildwood Crest, and you know, all those little seaside towns are cute.
Why wouldn't somebody like do it to rival? I know you're not going to fully rival Las Vegas because it's stupid over there, but do something like for the East Coast.
Yeah, like, Atlantic City was first, right? Atlantic City was the first seaside town with amusements, and then it went
blow it up and do it again, kind of.
Yeah, it's just the whole area around there is so depressed. You know, it's
yeah, but that's how you up it up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, how you do it. Yeah. Strange.
Urban planning with Sandy at one. You know, yes. I'd have my ideas. I would. It's just even like it's not a place for me. It's not a place where I would ever think of taking my family. Like it's not a family place. It's an old person's place or a very young person's place, but you wouldn't go with family. Like it's just not. I would go to one of the other seaside resorts, and I don't need the gambling. But yeah, there's a lot of like there's a big convention center there. It's where the Miss America pageant used to, maybe it still is. I don't even know if there's a Miss America anymore. It used to, the big deal every year was the Miss America pageant in Atlantic City.
But maybe that's why they didn't use, when we get later, they didn't use they use a Washington DC casino. The inside. It wasn't one of the one.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I only noticed that because I was looking at IMDb
Interesting,
to see where it was
because
all filmed, and they said the casino was in Washington DC.
All of the parts that are supposed to be Philadelphia were all filmed in Pittsburgh. Like all of the outdoor shots are Pittsburgh.
And the indoor arena is a Petersville Sports Center or something like that in Pittsburgh as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like none of it was filmed kind of where it was
Correctly.
filmed.
That it was filmed
The
correctly.
outside shots, yeah, but the inside, no. But we get, Tommy is at in the arena, I suppose, like that, looking, and he clocks his brother, and his brother kind of clocks him in the distance, and they go to Brendan goes to approach, and then he kind of gets his his trainer and I'm guessing a promoter woman kind of says, "Oh, hi, that," and he kind of misses out, and he goes off. I think that's it. But now we get
I just dropped my phone. Just dropped my phone over here. All good.
Sorry, is this so now we get so we get all the say so of like the people who are there, and then we go back into the room. Nick Nolte's listening to Moby Dick and got the TV on whilst there's this is again I'm gonna pick is they get his name as he's still Tommy Reardon in this, and then this is a bit of thing. So we get the Lance Corporal doing a TV interview about this is just me being military, just be me being picky, is doing a thing that is definitely would not be declassified. An operation, even if it did nothing happen, it would not be declassified. It just bugged me. That's just me being military. And to get the sign off to do a TV interview, and he would be still in Iraq, looks like just from the background, would be zero chance. And even if he was home, zero chance. Like, you're not going to do a major TV interview. But he kind of comes up with he saved our life, Tommy Reardon, because he didn't know his name. Okay, that's fine. And I'll pick at the end. That's we were drowning. We were in they say tank later, but it was an armored vehicle. Yeah. And he rips the back door off it, and they saves him. And then, of course, Paddy runs in to get Tommy. Look, this is what they're talking about you. And he kind of stands for a couple of minutes, doesn't want anything. Boom, straight out the door. And then Paddy calls. I think Brendan calls, doesn't he? The phone. He actually calls, doesn't he? The hotel room, and he's like, no, he's gone. So this is where they have we have, I suppose, as an audience, is the emotional showdown. Let's call it that. It's where they have a great little scene about who he knew. What's that? And it's literally. And you can see Tommy's back is up of like, you're my big brother. You were supposed to protect us. We had a plan. You chose to stay for your girlfriend. And he's like, no, that not just my girlfriend. She's my wife now. Got 2 kids. And he tries to chat. Why are you showing me pictures of people I don't know? People I've never ever seen. Who are you? And he even then he even goes like, kind of doubles down. He goes, do I know you? You mean brother? He goes, because he says like brother, and he goes, my brother's the core. Right. Were you in the core? And he's like that, and he's it's literally they're like literally back and forth of like look, I was 16, I was naive, I didn't know what I was doing, and Tommy's like, no, you were my big brother. You were supposed to protect us, and you did not do it. You forgave Paddy, Papa. I forgot what they call him. You forgave him, and you want me to forgive you? You're just you up yourself. How dare? It's kind of like, how dare you? You've never reached out. You never tried to find me. It's literally F you, really. Sort of, throughout this, the movie does this a lot, but I think this is great. This little scene is just like on the beach.
Well, it's good because you get Brendan's perspective of the split too, because Tommy puts all this on him, but he puts a lot on Tommy and even the mother as well, because it sounds like somehow they hid, or for some reason they kind of hid from Tom, hid their life from Brendan as well, because he's like, you and mom had no right to keep, to do what you did, which was keep her sickness a secret. Like he
when she was dying, didn't he?
Right.
Said
He
you
never
had no
knew
right
she
to
was
tell
sick,
me.
never knew she was dying, never had the chance to say goodbye. And like, you guys shouldn't have done that to me. You didn't have the right to do that to me. So you can kind of see both perspectives of these guys. And again, it's just total sadness of the dysfunctional family, where it's like, damn, man, there's blame to go around for everybody, even in the people who were, kind of victims of the guy who set it all off, which was the father. Again, there's so much emotional stuff in this movie, and they just do such a good job at, I think, driving it home with the acting, but even just the writing of it. Like, again, I referenced back to how much I enjoyed or appreciated the way, is probably the better way to say it, appreciated the way they handle the father's past in this, or how they tell you the story of the father's past, which is indirectly telling you just through where you are now, not necessarily going fact by fact case of what happened in the past. They handle a lot of emotional stuff on a complicated subject of family dysfunction in such an awesome way in this, from the writing to the directing to the acting. I mean, the editing, the way they kind of bounce back and forth between the lives and the current paths of the brothers and even the father it's just all really well done.
Yeah, let me get it. Yeah, this bit is literally, you think your brothers are going to speak, and they're just like, both of you, we've had enough. And at the end, it's like,
Yeah.
are we done? Are we done? Are we done?
Mhm.
Just to walk off.
Probably
and then, of course,
more realistic, though. I mean, if you've been separated for this many years without even a hint of communicating, I wouldn't expect them to run up and hug each other, So
No.
I think it probably is about right, for this kind of reunion, in air quotes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you want forgiveness? I don't know you for you to earn the forgiveness, isn't it? Really.
Mhm.
But now we get to the the cage fighting, the Sparta, the fight. So we get Tommy's up first, lucky enough, because they get draws and like that. So he's prepping with Nick Nolte. I actually got that, literally, don't know why. It's really bubbling out screenshot, but it's funny. But yeah, so Paddy's there, and then Tommy he hasn't got any music. He hasn't got any sponsors. He's refused to take pictures for the press, and he's dipped out of all the press conferences. So nobody knows him. They'd never heard of him, and they just think, oh, he's a YouTube sensation, and he's gonna get eaten alive. He's gonna get knocked out, straight away. And so his first fight. I do like it. Is now if you've watched UFC, it does happen quite a lot when somebody just gets that lucky shot,
Mhm.
and they kind of
One shot. Yep.
Yeah, one shot, bang. But the best bit of this, I'm knocked him out. I'm out. Literally, he's just like, sod you, I'm out. And it's a great thing. And this guy, he's completely out for the count. So yeah, he's literally stepped back, one hit, bang, done. One, and he's out. And then you get next is Brendan's up. He's against, and I'm sure the one on the left is a UFC fighter, and I can't remember his name.
I don't know. I'm kind of a casual when it comes to UFC.
Yeah.
I watch it every so often, but I'm not somebody who knows.
But it was this
history or
era
anything
when I
very
kind of
well.
watched. I was like, oh my god, I'm sure he is one.
It would make sense to have used
Yeah.
UFC fighters, in this movie. So maybe.
But yeah, so we get Nick Nolte's watching it on the old monitors there, I suppose you call it, and then we get Brendan's getting his he can take a beating.
He was in a bad spot. Right. Yeah. He's
can
gonna
take
outlast.
a punch, and he's literally maybe this is why he was but I say forgettable, is because he's not a stylish fighter. He's literally, his thing is, once I get you on the ground, I can get a lock in. So he's like that. And if you ever watch it, sometimes they're the really boring ones when you have like a jiu-jitsu wrestler. And it's like, oh, get you on the board, and you can't see what's going on, and they just lock. So that's probably why. So what he gets out the first round just by time out of it. I'm guessing it's chokehold. I'm not going to say what it is. And they get back of it's the next round. and he's still not doing that well. He's still getting kind of beaten. Paddy, his dad is kind of seeing him on, but then he gets an arm lock or something, doesn't he? Something that he
I
gets
forget what the
into.
name of it is. They say it
whatever.
too, but I
Yeah, they
forget.
say
Kimura or
I
something. I forget. I always forget what the moves are.
No, but yeah, and then manages to tap him out, and they're all gone crazy. And yeah, he's very, very happy about the situation.
Looks
But
a
the
bit
rules,
surprised.
yeah, but the rules are in the thing because there's so many. It's like you have to fight twice the first night, and if you make it twice the second night, if you get to the final.
Yeah.
And then we
As
get
the
this guy.
principal, he's like watching it home.
He's watching it. Yeah, he's watching it. It's like, you didn't even do it. His wife is like cooking or cleaning up, and she's like, "Yay!" I don't know what you're on about. It's like, "Yeah, he tapped him out." Oh, but yeah,
And then Brendan's wife is just folding laundry, not watching.
Yes,
but gets the text message, and
she's eating. That's it. And yeah, it's waiting for that message. But I like it because doesn't they again? I'm sure this is a bit they do in Rocky. She doesn't watch the fights until later on.
Well, she said she would never watch him again when he got beaten up in the parking lot fight, and they were in the bathroom, and she said, "I told you I am never watching you fight again." So, not watching you get beaten up again, or something. To
until
that
the next fight.
until he wins.
Until he wins. Oh, yeah, okay.
There's millions of dollars on the line. Yeah.
But then, we get Kirk Angle, Cobra. He's literally destroying everyone at the moment. So he's the undefeated Russian, but he's literally powering everybody out of the ground with just literally raw power to win the fights. And we get kind of back and forth, bit of back and forth from other ones. And then we get again, now she's watching the next Brendan fight on the TV. Where he gained another arm lock or whatever, and he wins. He's things. And I like this is when you don't actually hear what he says to him, except for "Well done, Brendan," and he whispers something to him, doesn't he? But you can't. But it kind of upsets Nick Nolte again. He's like, "Oh, well done," He's like gives him the thumbs up a couple of times, and it's like, no. That's it. And then, of course, you get Tommy back. Again, he kicks the literally living crap out of this guy very, very easily, and then just storms off. And then you get, this scene. Emotional impact is the best one, where Tommy is gone. This is Sandy? This is the DC casino. I don't know. This is a great scene because it's quite hard to explain the emotional impact of Nick Nolte's character to Tom Hardy's character. Is literally one trying to say, "I understand. Just tell me." About what happened. You're still pissed off that this.
Because he was also a veteran. He was also a veteran, so he's trying to. He's not even at this point approaching him as. And this is why I just love this scene and the scene that comes after as well, because again, it just really it's showing you how bad it was with Nick Nolte's character back in the history of this family, without telling you exactly how. Because at this point, he's not even trying to reach to him as father and son. He's trying to appeal to the side of him that went to war. So he's like, "Look, I'm a veteran too. Like, I know I've seen things. I've seen people go down. It's terrible. Talk to me. Talk to me from that aspect." And still, even with all the pain that Tommy, carries, he still just has all this resentment for his father and won't even let the conversation of vet to vet, happen because he hates him so much. And then obviously Tommy then kind of, erupts on him with the a bit more of the story of how he's no longer in the Marines. He, apparently went AWOL. And after what was, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, a friendly fire incident that happened that had taken out some of his squad.
And everyone else was killed but him. And then he took off.
So he's probably even dealing with survivor's guilt. And I mean, it really gives you so much more background on these two characters. In, again, just like Stacey said, an incredibly emotionally impactful way.
But even like when he kind of this is like triple down at this point, because he knows he's he's talking to his dad, and even when his dad talks
Mhm.
about, you know, like we're veterans, and you know, like I've been there, I know what you're experiencing, is when he goes for it, and then he just gets that knife, and he's literally just goes, to be frank, he's just calling him, look, you're nobody to me, you're a piece of shit.
Mhm.
Really, who the effing hell are you to tell me anything? And he's like, you know, you were like again, he's like, you're better off a drunk, you know, and have that. And he throws the quarters in his face, you know, and he's just like, and then, but even before that, you can see Nick Nolte's, and that like plays it so well with that. You can feel his soul
yeah, well,
like that by just the eyes and the emotion coming from his face. It's just like, I was here to help you. Like, I don't want anything. I just want to help you. And he's just like, oh, it's just like, it's burning just to watch it. It's like, oh, it's like you're watching it and you just be silent. You're like, oh, I don't know how I feel about Tommy. I don't know how I feel about Nick, like Paddy's character. And you're just like, oh, but I understand them both. I understand them, like kind of where they go, because you don't, as like Jay said, you don't need to know the background. You just know what happened in the past was horrid, but Tommy just going, that's too bad.
He just won't let it go.
No.
Right. And not to say just he won't let it go, but he can't let it go is probably the better way to say it, because it was just that harmful to him. And I like how
they go to his memory of his mother, because he was with his mum.
He had to take care of her. Yeah, he had to take care of her when she was dying. I think that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine what that puts you through. Absolutely. Again, and we never hear the extent of what he went through with it. We're just left to fill in the blanks ourselves, which I think is so, because again, and the way you fill in the blanks is you end up thinking of like, oh, it must have been this bad and this bad, because of how much emotion they're showing in these moments here when they interact with each other. You know, like this Nick Nolte, I think, is so good. He's not even saying much. He's really just getting berated by Tommy, but it's right. It's the face. It's seeing, because it's not only is everything you're saying is that Tommy's saying so hurtful and just breaking them down. It's just, he's realizing here is like, there's nothing I can do to, these kids aren't going to let me back in. Like, there is nothing, like my 1,000 days sober, my trying as hard as I am, it's just not working. And to have this react to me, I think this interaction kind of almost plays out like, you ever seen kids have a tantrum with their parents to the point where they say, I hate you, and it breaks the parent's heart type of thing. It almost feels like it plays a little bit like that's what it's supposed to be, but they're too grown for that type of thing, where it really, essentially, Tommy feels like, again, just a little kid telling his dad that I hate you because this, that, the other thing. And you see it break his heart the same way it would, you know, a parent who does unfortunately hear that from when a kid's being, you know, overly emotional and they're just being too mean and too angry with the parent. You know, you'll have those moments, but those parents know, I know he didn't mean it, but it still hurts to hear it. He's got the face of, it hurts to hear it, and this guy means it, which I think is so much more impactful.
And the worst thing, he knows he probably deserved it.
Exactly. And again, and it's all just done with just a good dialogue, good acting. And I again, not telling you too much, but leaving the past in the past, but using the present to tell you how bad the past was. I was really just kind of dumbfounded by how well this was done in this movie. I loved that approach to telling the story of this family.
Now we get that scene, and
and they followed up with this, which was again more of it. I'm like, Jesus, this movie's killing me right now.
Sandy Moby Dick scene really is Ahab. Literally, this scene, and he's literally is listening to Moby Dick, and literally crying out for Ahab to stop the ship. I adored it. I think this scene is absolutely brilliant. It's A quality, like that, like it's brilliant.
Yeah, he was, and I had no idea. Again, you know, I hadn't even heard of this film. And when I looked up, you know, award nominations, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this film. He didn't win. But absolutely, I mean, just putting everything into this performance. Now, as a Moby Dick purist, I don't think it's exactly right for this situation in the film, but I'm going to overlook that. I'll talk about that at the end, like, you know, breaking down the whole Moby Dick situation here. But just, I mean, this is the whole, I've given up.
Right.
This is my obsession versus, you know, it's the obsession It's the enemy I can't
Addiction.
fight,
Yeah.
which is in Moby Dick, the enemy he can't fight is not the whale. Enemy he can't fight is the sea. And in this film, because I had to look up, okay, why Moby Dick for this film? And the at least, what Google tells me is Google AI tells me is that the sea in this film is the totality of the family, not his not his addiction. The addiction is the white whale, is his obsession. It's the sea is the family, what he can't control. Right? You can control what you're going after. You can subdue a whale, believe it or not. You can subdue an animal. You can't fight Mother Nature, and you can't fight
his sobriety, right? I would imagine
Yep.
that's what kind of represents the whale.
Yeah.
Like he subdued it. He did the 1,000 days, but it's still not enough. I still can't get this family back, which
it's
again,
not.
the sea.
Exactly. And I'm just, for minutes in this film, I forget this is Nick Nolte. You know what I mean? Like, because in some films he's kind of playing a stereotypical, Nick Nolte playing Nick Nolte kind of thing for me. But in this film, because I'm immediately identifying with this family as a very Irish family. Even Tommy, who changes his name from Connolly to Reardon. I mean, he's going from a very Irish name to a very Irish name. But you kind of forget it's Nick Nolte. He really embodies the character and all of the behaviors and the characteristics around someone who's, overcome with addiction and defeated in this moment by his family situation, which he created, though. So it's nothing he can control now. He probably feels like he could have done things differently in the past. It's too late. I do. I think his performance is just tremendous here.
I agree.
Yeah, it's another level. Like this picture when he goes to approach Tommy, and he just literally that it's not madness, but it's literally it's near enough to it when he's just like shouting, "Why didn't you?" And he's blaming, he's like shouting at Tommy that he's Ahab. And it's just it's mad. And then I do like Tommy is where we saw before the softer side of Tommy. At this moment, he doesn't actually say anything. He goes up, picks up a bottle of alcohol, one of the mini bottles, and he just grabs him. And he just like, and it's great because that bit from shouting and then this, there is no talking. It's all the emotional acting, I suppose you want to call it. And then they get it and he grabs him and I'm just going to take you to bed. And then they draw out. And I love how the director, how he draws that out and then pulls it back to see like the full, you can understand. Yeah. He's protecting a man who's driven to alcoholism and he's lost it, but he's also realizing, I think at this point to me, that's your dad.
But you know what?
That's the thing. Yeah, but I hate him, but that's him. That's his reality. That's who he is.
With everything we've seen from Tommy, one might think, oh, there's no way he would hug this man, right? But this scene works because we have seen the scene with him on the phone to Manny's wife.
Yes.
And we know that there's a really good guy somewhere in there. There's a human in there. If we didn't have that scene, even if we knew about the military, his sacrifice and him saving, even if we knew that, I don't think we'd buy this scene because it would feel like too big of a shift from the character that we know of him. But because we had the phone call with Manny's wife and his tone changed and he cared and he was considerate and he was really thinking about the family and worrying about the family. That's why this scene works. So I think that was done extraordinarily well.
And
he does it quite well. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well. Yeah, he does it like right at the beginning when he's with Paddy in the coffee shop. The breakfast bar, whatever, cafe or whatever you want to call it. And then the waitress comes up and says, "Oh, would you like a coffee?" And he's really polite to her. He's like, "Oh yes, thank you very much." And he goes, his tone goes really soft and really polite. So I think they slowly, there's little bits that you don't recognize that will build up. And of course, the Manny phone call does it. But yeah, this then does make sense. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, breaking.
No. I was just going to say that I think it also shows a bit of, and I think there's kind of seeds of this throughout the movie with Tommy's, with the fact that Tommy's even coming back to see his dad in the first place, the conversation with his brother, the way that he and his brother look at each other across the room when they first see, because remember that confrontation on the beach isn't the first sighting of each other in all this time. It's really the second. And that first one, I think, is more telling of how they really feel, especially Tommy, in terms of seeing him, because it's not an angry look. It's more of just like oh crap, like that's my brother. He's here. I'm actually looking right at him. It's not till later on where he's now had time to stew on it and think of all the things he would say or could say in this moment. I love that the director chooses to not have the first look at them be the first interaction versus that beach scene, because I think there's a part of Tommy that, and again, there's the seeds of it that I think I picked up on, if that's what he was doing, that does want his family back, but he still just has so much angst and resentment towards them first that he can't just let them say, I'm sorry, and walk back in. Like, it has to be more of a battle for him, especially with everything he's been through in life. There's no way he's going to allow it to happen that easy. So this, to me, feels like a little bit of like, not only realizing like, this is my dad, but realizing he just gave up that 1,000. I pushed him. I said, I hate you enough time. Like, it's almost like when you have those flare-ups with kids who have tantrums towards their parents in their teenage years and all that, where they say the hurtful things that they don't really mean. It's more of just the kid trying to push the parent. I'm going to push you. You're making me upset. You've made me upset. Now I'm going to push you until you're upset, type of thing. And then later on, it's always the come and crying, like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean it, the whole thing. This is like a version of that to me, just amplified by obviously the passage of time, because they're all well-grown adults at this point, and the passage of just this history that they've all had with one another. I feel like that last scene, in this scene, because of the last scene, that's the way I wanted to say it, Tommy knows that, okay, I finally, like this, the fact that he's breaking his sobriety, he's completely drunk in the room screaming about Ahab. This was my fault. Like, this guy wasn't just changing for himself, like I kept accusing of with the religion and the sobriety. He was at some point changing to try to gain us back. And I pushed him so far that I finally broke that for him. Now I've caused the pain for him. Now I can kind of at least come back as a son and try to, again, do we know if this ends up repairing the relationship? We'll talk about that as the movie goes on, because this is, a scene that we'd have to see more of, I guess. But in this moment, to me, this is Tommy's forgiveness of his father. It's not just, this is still my dad.
Yeah.
It may not be all sunshine and rainbows coming out of this day and after this interaction. Like, it may still be very tough to get to a good point, but this was Tommy's final, like, official forgiveness, because I think this whole time he wants his family back. He just can't let them walk back in that easy after everything that's been done. He has to punish them a little bit. Exactly.
Yep.
And I think it just plays out so well in this scene, on top of because these scenes go back to back, and I love the choice of not editing something else in between them, like another look at what Brendan's got going on. I love that. I think at least they were back to back. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
But I love that it flows back to back, because you really got to see the scene before. You have to see Nick Nolte's character break to really get the impact of this one. And I like the way it was done.
But it's great because when he does break, it's literally just, again, it's no talking. It's literally
you just see it. It's superb acting.
You see it in his face.
Very much.
Well, Tommy as well. This is one of the few times he's even in a room with his father where his face doesn't have a scowl on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just got a face of like, shit. Okay, this is okay. This is it.
Oh, that's it. It's Matt. Yeah, he's like Nick Nolte's character, like acting in this is just that, like you feel hurt for him in a way, though he's a dick, and that's the thing, because you just see that face. It's like that passage of time, how they've edited it, and they probably just filmed just break and we'll film it. I understand that, but like how they edited it is like you've got that emotional. And then Tommy's just pounding him, and that's it. Like he's literally doing what he's doing here, like in the ring. He's pounding him. He's pounding him, but he's emotionally pounding him. And it's just it just brings that setup of like, it's forgiveness, but it's like kind of an understanding. Yeah, like you at last you feel that pain that I felt. Finally, that what I felt, but it gets there, but from that, now we get kind of, I suppose, back to the fighting. Now we get back to Tommy's now back to the ring, the next day. Again, no music except for, of course, the news had come out that he's a Marine. Sandy, I'm guessing you might know the song. What's the song?
I think it was the Marine Corps theme.
Yeah, okay. Was it got a name? Has it just got a name? I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
I know it is the Marine Corps hymn. I think that's what it's called.
Okay. But they sing it out there, and he gives it like a kind of a recognition, doesn't he? Like he doesn't come in bold and things like that. But this time he is fighting Mad Dog in the I suppose you call it semi-final or semi-final, as you Americans would call it.
So the obviously we know that where the end fight is going to be, but putting like the toughest competitor at this point is kind of like the Miracle on Ice situation for Americans that people remember today. It's almost like the Mandela effect. It's completely wrong, but people think Miracle on Ice was to win the gold medal, and it wasn't. It was the match before that we defeated the Russians. It was just a big deal.
This Mad Dog, this isn't the Russian.
Oh, that's the
next fight. That's the next fight.
Oh yeah, Kobe is Brendan's opponent. This is Matt. This is the guy who beat out originally at the beginning.
I meant the Brendan, right? But it's the one before the last.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to the.
So it was from literally the bronze medal silver match, really, kind of.
Right, and so in this film, I'm sure it's not on purpose, but for Brendan to take on the most feared competitor before the final match is kind of reminded me of that, because now how people remember it is, oh, that was the gold medal. It was not the gold medal match. It was just because we were in the Cold War and we had to beat the Ruskies, and we beat the Ruskies with a team of amateurs, because at that point in time, United States athletes in the Olympics could not be professionals. So all of our athletes for any Olympic sport were always the amateurs, not the professionals. So anyway, so sorry to go down that path, but it made me think that way. But I'm a whole match ahead of myself there. So,
but it is directed by or written by the guy who did Miracle, isn't it? So,
oh, is it? I didn't realize
you mentioned that last time. Yep, you did.
Yeah. So we get Mad Dog, who's he gets in Tommy's face. I do love the takedown when he just literally poleaxes him like across the neck, and he goes boom, and then dunk, like literally just, I'm gonna knock you, just literally. I don't think even Mad Dog even got his hands up, and he's just like, that's it, and he's just the madness on his face. And I think Tommy Tom Hardy, when he does that, you believe he's a bit. I'm a bit.
Oh
psycho.
Yeah, he's got that face. He's a scary dude.
He's got that. But now we get the next semi-final, and the classroom. We could kind of skip like that. They have finally got their allowed to use the auditorium like that. I think it's going to be the football field now, is it?
They got something out. Yeah, it might even be like a local business or something, like a local drive-in or something.
It's a drive-in movie theater.
Right? Okay, that's what I thought. A local drive-in or something.
Drive-in theater. It's an old-fashioned drive-in movie theater.
How great is that? But they get that, and they've got all the banners. I love that. They even made T-shirts. Mr. C gonna kick your A.
A++. I didn't even catch that. That's actually funny.
Yeah, it's like great. But and then like he's there with the kids, like yay, cheering on again. Unfortunately, but then we find out, well, his wife has turned up, for the final thing, and he Frank says, "Is it okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of it. Yeah, it's okay." But he's got to fight the Kurt Angle, Koba, the Russian. Now, anybody who's thinking this is Soviet Union, this is actually what Sandy didn't realize. This is actually the advertisement. Is Tap Out is a huge mixed martial arts thing. It's like Nike. So this is actually one of the
Okay, so I would not have any.
Yeah, it's not. If you look at it, it's not actually the Soviet Union logo.
Yeah, there's the sickle. I see the sickle.
It's
and the hammer.
Slightly there. It's not, but they use all the Tap Out things. They're one that they probably are the biggest brand for
That's the
doubt
most.
that.
It's
That
the
it was
first
them.
one I think
Yeah,
of. It's got to be the most recognizable.
yeah.
At
It was
least to
them.
people who aren't, super into MMA.
Yeah, and it was I think that, and then Xbox is all around the ring as well. If you know that, they
Oh
had
yeah,
the
Xbox. I
rights.
think it was the 360 too.
Yeah,
that brought
they
me
had the
back.
rights to the game. It was like, and that was a good game. That was a good game.
I actually really like UFC games.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, but yeah, so we get the our fight, and does he get the crap kicked out of him for like 2 rounds? Doesn't it? Like they're like, there's no way he's out of this. He's literally he's surviving. Let's say that he's not really fighting. Koba's more powerful, the better fighter. Even when he's trying to put like moves on him, he's getting it out really easy. And then we get to round 2, and this is why are we here? Kind of a great thing. Why are we here? We're here. If you're not gonna, if you forget, I'll throw in the town now. But if you do not knock him out, you lose your home.
Yeah, I love this little
incentive. Literally great incentive. It's like,
I like this coach.
yeah.
Like, this is a great coach. He's got his little quirky thing with the music. He just seems like a good guy. He really just seems like a good guy.
Like a motivator in the right kind of way,
Yes.
not like the overly, asshole kind. Like, this is like, all right, you're hitting the right notes. You're hitting the emotional chords to get my mind state into the right spot.
There you go. Sorry, Sandy. We're gonna go. The Marines hymn. Actually, the official hymn of the United States Marine Corps, introduced by first director of the United States Marine Corps, I guess in band, Francisco Marie.
There you go. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. I know the words. I think that's what it's,
I wouldn't have thought it called the Marine hymn. I thought it'd be something grandeur, but yeah.
So there are often events where, like Veterans Day events, they'll do a montage of all 4/5, now 6 branches of the military and their songs. So it's this, and for the Navy, it's I can sing it, but I can't.
No, sing
anyway,
it, please. No, sing it, please.
No, I'm not.
Jay, do we chat? If you give a super chat, Sandy's got to sing it.
Anchors away. You can just anchors.
I'll
away,
give a super chat for
that. Anchors away, and the Marine Corps hymn, and and they'll kind of do the whole montage of all of them together. So that's how I know that. But I think the Marine Corps hymn and Anchors Away are probably the 2 most Speaking of today, oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? See, Film Club totally made me forget. Okay, it's 13-7. Sadly, Army is beating Navy right now. It's the 3rd quarter with 10 minutes and 51 seconds left in the 3rd. So Navy's got plenty of time to come back and whip them. So yeah, today is the big Army Navy game. So
there you go. In American, we can't call it football now. Trump said. So what do you call it? American? What, handball?
Okay. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to figure that one out, I guess.
We have our Navy Army game is rugby. It's quite good. They play at Twickenham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody just gets drunk. It's great.
As they should.
Literally 80,000 people just getting drunk. It's great. Yeah, it's brilliant. Except for the rugby players, of course. But yeah, we get back to the. Yeah, hopefully. We get back, and even when he tries, he's still like in this like that, and he's literally, I'm going to try now. I've got a pep talk, and he smacks him on. He goes straight down, doesn't he? He gets him into a lot. But then, lucky enough, he spins him into a leg lock.
That's his strength.
And he just literally, I love that because it shows how much effort he's having to put in to hold that lock. And and finally he taps and he's beating him, and everybody goes wild, and I like it because
they were screaming break it. If I would have heard a crack, I was gonna lose. I was like, I was not watching this part. I
hate when that happens.
Had my hand over my eyes. Yeah.
But yeah, so everybody's celebrating. I like this because they make sure they will show he's proper injured. They get his trainers in to show he got beat good. But now whilst that's happening, we've got breaking news of that they have interviewed Manny's wife. They now know Tommy Reardon isn't Tommy Reardon. He is Tommy Connolly, and he's gone AWOL. And the reason is because of Manny died whilst in things, and he will be arrested at the end of the event. Again, it's just me picking. They would have found him already. Literally, somebody got able. One, they would have had his dad's address on record.
For sure.
Yeah, I can bypass it. It's just like that. So
but
yeah,
also, and I also kind of thought, I'm like, would they really wait for the end of the event? Like, wouldn't they just be like, no, dude, we're arresting you now?
No, I always thought this. I went, now how much influence has the guy got? Because you only see the
but he's also a
holder.
hero. So
Fair.
there's also our military, our branches of our military, they have public relations problems, right? So now the media is, seeing him as a hero. Do they really want to do this? Because enlistment is way down. I don't think they would have gone this route. I just don't. Would have been something a little more quiet.
Jay did ask me, what's your minimum AWOL? Do we know? It's 28 days. Minimum.
I have no idea.
You go even if you go an hour, 28 days we call it the glass house.
Oh, no idea.
Days, bang. Yeah. And then if you refuse, it's literally your length of service, and then you get done again. So it's literally, if you had whatever, we have different lengths of service depending on whatever regiment or corps you're in, I suppose you want to call it. And then you have 28 days. And then if you refuse, you do your length of service, and then they prosecute you again, and then you go into civilian jail. That's what. So unless that's changed, but that literally you're normally you're definitely your length of service. Yeah, and it's called the glass house because literally above you is glass, and then that's how they look at you. And then when it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold. So it's like that. So you literally you're in a greenhouse. So yeah, not nice. Yeah. So the I don't know what you call it. MPs. Are they the military police or
military
marine
police?
Is it? Yeah. We have different caps, so I didn't know what your caps are. Like in the Royal Air Force, white caps are the Royal Air Force ones, and they're called snowflakes. We call them snowflakes because they looks like you got snow in your head. So we take the piss out of them, call them snowflakes. But we had the red caps, so I didn't know if they were something different. You have different.
I don't know.
Navy, Army, and Air Force.
I know they have armband. Like I would know them from the armband that would
Mhm.
say MP. So
Right.
I'm
what I
not
would recognize.
familiar enough with the uniforms in the Marine. I'm a Navy girl. I don't know anything about the Marines, sadly.
Okay. But then we get our announcement. Now, is this guy from Impractical Jokers?
No, that's Brian Kalin. So he's a comedian who's been in like a lot of small stuff. He's been in like small roles in The Hangover. I mean, I'm sure he's been in larger things too, but he's had a lot of small roles in things like The Hangover and some other comedies.
Okay. He looks like the guy from Impractical Jokers.
He does kind of when you say it. Yeah, now that you mention it, he does kind of. But he's a stand-up comedian, podcaster, that type of thing. I think in like the Joe Rogan circle, that type of thing.
But this is when he gets told and he gets an outman. The final is brother versus brother. So they announced that so I love that because we know, and I always think, ooh, every time they say they're brothers, because like they go to like everybody else and they're like, oh, it's like that, but it's good. And then of course, Brendan getting ready and he's like, well, what are you gonna do? And he's like, gonna fight him. I'm gonna fight him, and that's it. And so we get, Tommy's getting ready. Yeah, and then they slowly get into the ring. Everybody's geared up, and I do like the when things is when they touch glove is when Brenda goes, "Where's Papa? Where is he?" Because he's not there. He's like that, and he's just like turns away, and he's just like you can tell he still cares. He's like, oh, that even that moment of like, so say we're going to war. He actually cares. So we get, but it's Tommy's mindset is I'm gonna kick the living crap out of you. Fair play. he actually does. He's the kind of a pound to pound. He's the better fighter, let's say that, and probably more technically better than Brendan. Standing up.
Well, I was gonna say, standing up on their 2 feet, he's definitely
Yeah.
the better kind of puncher, brawler.
Yeah.
Brendan's better on the ground. So I kind of like that attention to detail, kind of the matching up of different styles, and
Yes.
that, really kind of going the full distance with the no pun intended, but with the UFC fight and all that. So I like that.
Yeah, and I must say, I don't think they explained it that well, but I do know is if it's a non-championship belt, it's 3 rounds, and this is 5 rounds. They never explained it in the movie, and I thought if you didn't know that, it
would have
be
thrown
quite
you off.
confusing.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Why
I'm
did
like,
it go?
They didn't differentiate. Well, like, say it or anything.
Yeah, they could have just gave a quick. By the way, in the championship, yeah.
Yeah, have the announcers do it. So now we're headed for 5 rounds, the championship match. Something simple.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's like that. But yeah, Tommy's got the upper hand. He's literally beating the crap out of Brendan really at this point, and he's literally come on. And he takes a cheap shot, at the after round 1. He thinks he's kind of got him, hasn't he? He's like, and he's still beating him. He's pounding on him, pounding, until one moment in late in round 2, I think it is, or round 3, he gets him in the arm lock. Oh, this moment, he's elbowing him in the face and like that, and then you just hear.
You just keep hearing the coach say, "Break it, break it,
yeah, break it."
Oh,
and
God, please don't. I don't want to hear it.
And it is literally, but when you do hear it, you're like, "Oh,
no!" Hand over face, hand over ears. Nope.
Yeah, that's it. And they said, I heard it pop. So he's dislocated it, and probably torn every muscle like that. But that is a great face. But I love it because when he does it and he gets up and the bell goes, he choke slams him. He's like that, boom, into the like, I'm not giving up. And then when the bell's gone, they're sitting down, he calls the ref they come over, and he's like, no, you've got to do it. And it's just Tom Hardy's emotions gone from madman, I'm gonna win, to literally this. I think he's emotional again. It's like what Nick Nolte did, but he does it in the fighting style. Is when, oh crap, and if anybody's ever popped, ripped, or broken something, and the pain, and it's like that, it's literally, and then he carries on, and he's like,
well, he doesn't have a coach to pop it back in because that's his dad, and his dad's not there because obviously he was in the hotel room still, so he's got to fight as is.
Yeah, and Brendan's just like, Tommy, what are you doing? And it's just like, give it up, and he's just like every moment of like this interaction of like, he's just pleading with him, it's done, it's finished, what are you doing? And he's still trying to swing, and he's just like, he's backing off, dropping him, and then he's going for it, he's hitting him slightly. It's such a great one. And of course Nick Nolte finally turns up, from the moment, I think, being a bit drunk, and then even his wife is like, oh, I understand you're hurt. Like, it's great. And then it's just Tommy is just, he's gone, isn't he? He's like, literally, he hasn't got anything left to fight with. He's gone. It's a great a build up to emotion to what you kind of see, and like, he's pleading, he's Brendan's backing off. He doesn't want to hurt him like that, but he's like, when he does like some kicks and some punches on his arm, you're like, oh, anybody's been it's bad. It's like that, and he's going for it. They kind of, they wrestle, they get up, he's in absolute agony, and I just love it. It's just when the bell goes again, just this moment, I think this interaction, when he notices his dad outside, and he's just like, you can see again where we've said a lot in this movie, their facial expressions tells the story. It's just like this bit, and then the kind of the music kind of starts again, I suppose you want to call it, is this kind of just look of like, his dad of just like it's okay. He's like that reassurance. I want the best way to go is like, and he gives him a nod. He's like, yeah, it's okay. You're doing the kind of right thing, and but even that, when Frank is talking to him and like the hurt is like, I'm supposed to be the big brother, and I've got to like literally pound on my things, and like
but he's got to do it to end it. It's like, this is how it has to end, but it's more important that it ends than that I'm hurting my little brother a little bit now, and it just has to be over.
But it's literally, he's like on that bit when he's just looking, he's like, I've got, he's like, you can see his little brother's in absolutely agony, and when he just goes, come on, and he just does that swide one, and he just smacks him one, and he gets him down, like that, and they're both going for it, and it's just everybody's just realizing, the end is coming. He gets him into I guess another chokehold. And again, it's a great scene because it builds up your emotion, because I think the music plays a big part of it. I think the music choice in this scene is great, but the whole he's getting him and he's just saying, sorry, Tommy, I'm sorry.
It's a hug, right? Yeah. It's fighting that is, it's a hug. And
in their world,
sad.
Yeah. And it's how they break I suppose their bond is like that. You got to be a heart. You've got to feel as bad as I did, vice versa, and like that. But I think the music choice was great, and then just tap, Tommy, just tap. I'm sorry, I love you, Tommy. I'm sorry. And it's just that draining like that. You really don't see him say it. You just see the pain in Tommy's face, and then he finally,
Well, and what I like about it too is I feel like in this scene, Brendan's finally realized, because Brendan has held on to, like we said earlier, the bit of anger he has with his brother and his mother for not telling him that she was sick and that she was dying and all that. But to me in this scene, I feel like he's realizing he, in a way, almost holds on to that to kind of justify in his own mind his choice to stay, because I feel like he knows it was the wrong choice and he should have been there with his mother and brother. To a degree, obviously, he was, with his girlfriend at the time, who becomes his wife, so he's got his own reasons. But I think part of him feels guilty for not having gone with them, and a way of kind of bearing that guilt or making himself feel better was to find something they did wrong to be mad at him for. And that's when they have that conversation, I think Tom Hardy's character, or Tommy, kind of finally tells him, like, you can stuff that wherever you want to, because that's not a good enough, like, you don't get the right to be mad at us even for that. And I think in this scene, when he's seeing how relentless Tommy, it's not just about the money. He sees that Tommy does want to, beat the crap. He still wants to punish him too. So that's when I think it finally clicks for him. It's like, no, I have to apologize to him. I can't sit and say you did wrong too. I have to be the one that apologizes. I have to say sorry and that I love you and all that. And it's through this fight that I think he finally, that clicks for him finally. And I think it clicks when he's sitting in the chair getting that water that we were just looking at. And that to me is like kind of the moment where now, and Tommy, I think it's all kind of symbolic. Tommy tapping out is that sign of like, okay, again, this fight physically is over, because honestly, I think it would be more in Tommy's character if that apology doesn't happen, to just let himself pass out from this chokehold and let the ref end it. I can't see Tommy, with what we've seen from his character, ever tapping out to anybody. So to me, that tap out is, I finally heard what I needed to hear from you. Like, we can move on from this. Like, our fight is over.
It's almost him hugging back. The tap is like, okay. Like there was something to the tap on the, on Brendan. It was like, okay, I get it. Or,
like, it's over. Like, okay, like, thank you. Like apology accepted. Like, let's try to figure out what the next phase for us kind of is, type of thing, or get ready for that portion of whatever our family dynamic has been up to this point. So again, it's like telling the story through the fighting, which there's just some really clever things and really well done things I think they did with the narrative and telling the story.
But that's it. Like, even when you end it, it's like you can make up your own decision what happens at the end. But even to that, when they kind of the end hug, that, and he kind of does a Tommy like, no, I'm getting my brother out. He's hurt. We're gonna get him out. and even to with like the getting out, and then that's kind of Nick Nolte's character, the recognition of not the bond has been mended between me and the sons, but at least their bond has been mended, even if it's a straight like that. And I think that's like when they kind of the walk off, and he just gives that kind of Cap walks off nod of like, at least they will be, it was me, but at least they're better, like that.
Because
And
his sin wasn't against either one of them individually. His sin was blowing the family apart. His behavior, his alcoholism, his whatever else he did, his violence just destroyed the family. And to see at least a small piece of it back together, I think is okay, even if they hate him.
But I must say, like, film wise, and we've said this before, is acting without talking is just that moment where you got that great soundtrack is from when he says, Tommy, it's okay. You don't hear anything. And it's on that. And this bit I think is great is when they walk towards the camera, and that's going to be the end of the movie. And like, you do not, because the movie doesn't tell you the backstory and tell you how it's going to end. Oh, it's a perfect ending. They just go into like brother and brother just walking on two, and what I'm going to call it warrior, I suppose you're going to warriors coming out, and they just end it. And I think it's a great, that's it. I don't need to know anything else. I can make it all up in my head of like the backstories and all that. Is Brendan gonna give him $1 million or whatever?
I think they split the money, and he gives it to Manny's wife. Tommy gives his portion to Manny's wife, and I even think that they eventually let the dad back into the family. I think they worked through it, and they all get back together.
How good is that? How good is that?
And I love that about the
your own little ending.
And it's not even that, like, you can. It's almost like the way they end it makes you in your mind immediately start taking it 10 miles down the road to think, well, where did it go? Because you're almost not expecting it to end that abruptly. So your mind immediately is like, well, no, I have to finish the story. And in my mind, the story goes this way. So I agree. I love the way they ended it, because I think, one, it is fun to kind of come up with that kind of little ending for however you saw the movie, however you want to see the family in the future. But two, I really do think that the movie makes you immediately think that way, just because they ended so abruptly and after such an intense emotional moment.
Yeah, it does. It gets you. Like I think we said, like when you come out of a, like the fight movies or whatever, like wherever it's going to be, you come out going, oh yes. But this one, you come out want to be like a fighter, but you also come out really emotionally kind of
you've gone on a ride. You've gone on an emotional ride.
Because that, like, where is other ones you kind of get where it's gonna go, you don't even know. I'm guessing for the first time, well, is it going to be Tommy, is it going to be Brendan? Because Tommy's the better one. You kind of, the Hollywood way, you might get it, but how it ends, I think it gives you them last two rounds and the music playing over it. I think they just get with your hair on the back of your neck stands up. You're like, oh, I feel emotional. I feel really emotional. I don't know why, because they've invested you so much without saying a lot about the background of two characters, but you just need enough to invest in both of them. And then you invest in, of course, Nick Nolte's character. And that's it. You got that triangle, and you kind of, I know your story. I know you, but I don't know you. And that I think they invest into it. So
absolutely.
Sandy, with the numbers, maybe.
With the number, well, let me start with the notes, and then we'll go to the numbers, just so we can remember where we started. This is Film Club number 65. I just want to say, number 65. Wow. Yeah, there's quite a bit in my little little file here. But we've mentioned this was released in 2011, written by Gavin O'Connor, Anthony Tambakis, and Cliff Dorfman. Those are names I just don't recognize very, very much. Directed by Gavin O'Connor. So that must have been the one who directed Miracle. That
must be. It's just, I know it said from the makers of Miracle, so maybe.
Okay. And then we talked about where it was filmed and not filmed, specifically for the geography of. Again, I like your comments about the lighting, because I didn't notice that. That would have helped to show the difference between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh while they were filming entirely in and around Pittsburgh, trying to make that look. But we can forgive that. We can totally forgive that. So the numbers. So this was a loser at the box office. This was made for $25 million. It made $23 million. But let's look. Oh, I didn't change it from 1958. You could tell I was using the Sinbad template from 2011. Okay. Every movie on this list is a sequel.
And all big budget blockbusters.
Harry Potter and the Deathly
except for The
Hallows
Hangover.
Part 2, Transformers Dark of the Moon. I can't believe it was number 2. God, that was horrible.
Those movies
Twilight,
always, I feel like, perform well money-wise. I don't know why.
Twilight, never saw it, never want to see it. The Hangover Part 2, never saw it. But I was in line for Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I like all the Pirates films.
Which one was on Stranger
Caribbean?
Tides?
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
I can't remember which one Stranger Tides was. Was that the one?
That is Penelope Cruz, isn't it?
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
Okay, so that had God, I'm forgetting the actor's name. He played Al Swearengen in Deadwood.
Oh, we know him as Lovejoy.
His name is.
Oh my God,
he's so good.
Lovejoy.
I can't think of his name.
Ian,
okay, hang on. I don't know that name.
Lovejoy. It's Lovejoy.
Ian McShane.
Okay, I don't know Lovejoy.
Oh my God.
Oh, Ian McShane from
Ian, yeah.
He played Blackbeard, I think, in that movie.
Yeah, he also played in Game of Thrones too.
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones as well. Oh, he is Al Swearengen, and Deadwood is phenomenal. He's so good.
This is the one without Orlando Bloom, right? This is the
right.
one
I
doesn't
think
have
so.
him.
Yeah, except for right at
no, that's the next one after that is the one that has him right at the
Yes,
end. The
yes,
one with
yeah.
Javier Bardem.
That's it.
Yeah, this is the one that doesn't have him.
No, this is with him. British people know him as Lovejoy, and then he turned up in Deadwood and he started to swear a lot and everybody was like, "That's not our Lovejoy." And Lovejoy is those Sunday evening
mysteries,
like murder mystery.
One of those murder
that's funny then.
Sandy, you will love it because he's a historian that does it about antiques.
Oh wow!
I've never seen So I've seen obviously Miss Marple.
Lovejoy is anybody's Brit. Everybody will love Lovejoy. Lovejoy was one. And then you saw him, and you're like, "What is going on?" And then he just like blew up. Like he was in everything.
He's good. He's in John Wick movies.
Yeah, John Wick, and he's in Death Race as well. And
he is. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and he's loads of other things. He's like, where did he? But in the UK, he's always going to be known as Lovejoy, and it's mad.
That's funny.
I'll have to look that up now. I had no idea.
But he's great because he's got like his haircut. He's got kind of long hair there, hasn't he? Kind of like a mullet, and he's still got it. He's got exactly the same haircut. He's never changed it, and it's quite quite
no
amusing.
idea. I always thought he was just a toughie. You know,
no, he's this lovable like antiques one with Tintin as the granddad kind of character who's like a bit like does the dodgy things, and then but it's all about rich people trying to swindle out money, and he's trying to investigate it, and then he does clever things to out swindle him, and he's got this a Downton Abbey like lady that they fancy each other, but they don't do anything with it because he's kind of the lady what's the sex one called? Lady
not Windermere. Chatterley.
No, Lady Chatterley's lover. That's
Lady
what they play off it
Lady
as well.
Chatterley.
So it's Lady Chatterley's lover is kind of that, but it's quite good because it's got like a very like mystery bits on it. It's very a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, let's digress on to Lovejoy.
I've written it down. Lovejoy. I've written it down. I do. Those are all good for a cup of tea on a Sunday. You're right. On a Sunday evening, usually for me, like a really cold day when I haven't been able to go outside and I really don't want to do any work, and I'll pop a Miss Marple on or Morse or Endeavor, the young Morse, and all of those spin-offs. So cool. I'll definitely look that up.
I'm just gonna have a look who won. I'm guessing it's 2000. Is it 2012 Oscars? Would it be? It would. Or would it be 2011?
It would be 11, right?
Well, we call it the 11 Oscars, but they happen in 2012.
Right.
Yeah. So the best supporting actor was let's have a look. Who won the best supporting actor? Christopher Bale for in The Fighter.
Oh, The Fighter. That's
The
right,
Fighter,
Christian
The
Bale.
Fighter.
That's right. He
Oh,
played.
you had
He
both
played
of those.
Dickie
Okay.
Eklund. That's actually a
So you
local Boston story. Well, not technically
No,
Boston,
actually,
a little
let's
north of
make sure
Boston, but
it's the same year. I'm guessing it's the same year because it's either going to be a 2008 or 2012, isn't it? They kind of cross over.
Well, I can go to the Nick Nolte page here and see.
Oh no, it wouldn't be. It would be 2008, wasn't then? So who won it? So 2012. There we go. It would be 2012 one then. So let's have a look.
Oh, it does. Yeah, there it is. So for the Oscar for
Christopher Plummer in Beginners. Never
I
seen
don't
it.
think I've ever heard of it.
I don't
No.
know. It must have been
Kenneth
one of
Branagh
those.
in My Week with Marilyn. No, that's
Never
not
seen
it.
it.
Jonah Hill in Moneyball.
Moneyball.
He's good in Moneyball. He's
It's not
good,
an
but I
Oscar
wouldn't
worthy.
say.
Max
I wouldn't
Von
say. Yeah, I wouldn't say.
and
Oscar
Max
worthy.
Van Strohe's in Extremely Loud and Incredible Close.
But
Oh, I never
look how
watched that.
many. Look at the age, like the age difference between Jonah Hill and Max von Sydow must be 70 years in that. And look at all the oldsters: Nick Nolte, Christopher Plummer. I mean,
Yeah. I've
holy
not seen The Beginner. I've not seen it.
Never heard of it.
but
They
never-
must have
I've-
given
yeah.
that to him for like, hey,
Yeah.
you've never won one, and because that's the only Oscar he'd been nominated for 66 different awards. He had only won one, not all Oscars, but he'd only won one Oscar, and that was it. And he died in 2021 at the age of, what would that have made him? 92. God bless. Wow.
Oh, talking about age, do you know who turned 100? He made it.
Dick Van Dyke made it.
Dick Van
Oh,
Dyke
did he?
made it.
God bless.
Hey.
Good for him.
Woo, happy
Betty
birthday,
White
Dick.
didn't. Dick Van Dyke
did
made it. Yep. Betty
He
White
made
was
it.
like 3 days short or something, but
Oh.
Dick Van Dyke made it. Yes. Congrats to Dick.
But
Van
yeah,
Dyke.
I remember watching the Oscars when it was relevant, and I was like, I was disappointed that it didn't win because we watched it before. I was like, I don't know. I've watched got 2 out of the 3, and I was like, but the other ones, unless you've really heard of the movie, like at least the one you've heard of, but you didn't watch. But yeah, it's things. Shall I go first because I'm quite interested in your takes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I adore this movie. It was quite funny because Jade was like, I need to be in the mood to watch this movie, and then she was like, we need to watch it again.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember how good it was. It's one of those ones where I think time passed and you watch it, you're like, oh, this is so good. Why am I not watching it again?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for my score. I'm going to pick out of it a lot. It's a 7.5 to 8, and I'm going to go for the stronger point of 8. And that's it. Because I've seen it multiple times, I pick the military bits. That's just because of my background. I can pick it. There's certain bits and I think this is with these kind of movies where they're fight orientated. The wife element is not as strong, but I can bypass that. I don't care. I think the triangle dynamic, what we've kind of gone through, is so strong and so weak, if that makes sense. It's so strong writing, but it's a weak relationship. It makes it feel real because you have the Nick Nolte character that kind of starts off the movie and you see his journey of sadness. Really, he's a sad man. I think it works, and you have like Tommy, his character, which way he went, and as I say, it's kind of like the crossroads of which way your path's going to take. And then Brendan's character, they went their own way, and they kind of, one went Marine, one went teacher. Well, you have seen and teacher, but they crossheads. They kind of uniquely came to a head at the same place. I just think how it's written and directed is so well. And I've sent throughout a little breakdown review, is where you don't need to have words. But when they do the dialogue, it's impactful. And when they do a long speech between two of the actors, they make you want to watch. They make you want to watch. And I know it's like it's a fight. I put it sports. Yeah, it's got sports in it, but it's like a sports very drama. It's not, it'll say, like, I hope you guys, for things, I didn't expect that much impact of like the drama element to bring it into a head surrounding a sport, the UFC. It mostly could have been any sport, but I think they probably went, well, it could have been boxing, it could have been all of that, but I think how UFC is set up, I think it's the right setting for this kind of insight of movie, that they are, you know, they're middleweights, aren't they, but they've kind of come from the pits, I suppose you want to call it, like out of the things of really low trodden parts of Pittsburgh, it seemed like, you know, and they've kind of got out of the environment they were in with the alcoholic dad. One went off with the mum, and then I'm guessing she was supposed to get cancer or something like that, and then the younger one took it. Then the oldest went with his girlfriend, made their family, still in that environment, but they all got to loggerheads. I think it's just a great a story that is not something new, but I think how they wrote it, and they just got the dynamics of every actor just really at their part, like at their game. Nick Nolte in it. Oh, he's he's absolutely brilliant. Now you see, like when I was like, oh, it's Nick Nolte, and then you forget, and that's something Sandy said. You forget it's Nick Nolte. You forget because he's just impactful on that. He's absolutely superb in this, and I think it helps to have that kind of him, to have a weaker actor in that role of the alcoholic dad wouldn't have been so things, because when he doesn't talk and he's them facial expressions, you go, oh, I feel for him, and then you realize, but you're a knob. I don't like you. I'm not supposed to like you. I'm not supposed to like Tommy because you're being a knob to him. Like, you're supposed to go for Joel character, but then he's not forgiven everybody. So you're in this kind of whirlwind of who do I root for? And I think that's great. And then the ending, I think it just nail on the head. I think it's great. So yeah, 7.5, 8. It's on the 8 side of that. I think it's a movie. Every time I go back to, I find my little flaws because I'm a movie nerd, but I don't need to see them flaws. It's enjoyable. Second watch, third watch, fourth watch, and that's that. I say like that. The end bit is when, you know, when you it starts getting very emotional. It hits me every time, and I think that's what makes a great movie. So yeah, that's my little
now because I have to do math with this, can we call it a 7.75 if you're between a 7.5? You're on the
call
8
it an
side.
8. Call it an 8.
Call it an 8. Okay, it's an 8. It's an 8.
Sandy,
I'm
you want
happy
to go
to go
next?
because I think Jay's going to have a really more interesting take than I probably am. I liked the film. I liked the performances in the film, but there are some things that didn't resonate with me. And one of the challenges to this film were there were so many side stories going on that it all made sense, but somehow it didn't make sense. So, for example, you've got obviously the core story of the family. You've got the military story. You've got the Manny's family story. You've got the school. You've got the bankruptcy. You've got the school, the principal. You know, it was just a little much on the different stories, and then layering in there were some, I don't want to say quirkiness. There were some interesting things that were layered in that, again, kind of over complicated the story. So for example, you know, the story of the reason why they're bankrupt with the child with the heart problem, and um, the fight trainer that does the classical music. I get it, but I thought the story itself was such a simple story, and because they're referencing Moby Dick, it's a classic tale, right? It's a tale as old as time. It's the family's broken up, and trying to conquer addiction. I just felt there was too much going on besides the fighting. I understand all of that was supposed to culminate in the emotion around the fight. Totally get that. I would have liked more resolution to any of those threads. We yeah, I like how we talk about how the movie had an abrupt ending. So yes, we can imagine that Minnie's wife was sent some money. Yes, we can imagine that the house is no longer in foreclosure. We can imagine that he got his job back. We don't know that, but they throw all these curveballs in and all these different story threads in, and we got actual closure on none of them. And that was just a little jarring for me.
Oh,
The
I
perf-
like that.
the performances were again, the performances I think were great. The way the fighting was filmed was great, except I did not like the montage scene. We've all seen Rocky montages, and I'm sorry, I am partial to a Rocky training montage versus what they showed here with the little television clips and the two, trying to show them side by side with like two windows on the screen. I
Mhm.
did not like that. I thought that was kinda cheap and cheesy for 2011, and I think it could have been done differently where you fade in and out to what each of them are doing. I know you're trying to show that it's happening concurrently, but still, that could have been done just a little bit differently. Um, and I feel like I'm probably being overly harsh, but I'm not because I really enjoyed the film. This was my
Mhm.
first viewing. I do wanna watch it again, and maybe I'll feel a little bit differently about all these threads that were unresolved. Just one more word on Moby Dick. I don't know that it fits here, and I initially was confused as to why it was here. I understood later why it was here because we began to understand the length of his addiction and all the other factors, and really the totality of what he did to destroy this. Well, we still don't know what he did exactly, but how the family
Mm.
was destroyed. But it's kind of on the nose to take, Wrath of Khan, let's say, when we look at the films that reference, Moby Dick, and, um, you know, obviously there's Jaws. Jaws did it impeccably and perfectly by weaving in the story through Quint, never mentioning Moby Dick, but using his experience on the USS Indianapolis, which was a real life story, to kind of throw in that, obsession, right, in Jaws. Jaws is flawless. Um, Wrath of Khan uses quotes from Moby Dick. So, when Khan says, "From hell's heart I stab at thee," and some of the other quotes, and it's the obvious story of, Khan tracking down the white whale of the Enterprise. In a kind of an odd way, that was done better than this film wove it in, not to drive the story or to subtly be, he's listening to an audiobook. I get it. Has he been listening to the same book during his entire sobriety? Like I'm I'm challenged with that. It's a great classic. I love it. It is one of my top
I
3
think
books.
he is. I think he's. They do say, don't they? You've listened to this multiple
Just
times.
keep
Just something
listening
like that.
to
Yeah,
this book
he keeps
and
listening to the same one.
getting yourself like it's his punishment, right? To
Mm.
listen to that book. His punishment is he knows the ending. The ending is I'm sorry, I'm gonna recommend that everyone read Moby Dick. I'm not gonna tell you the ending. It's not a good ending, okay? So it's just telling you what happens when you are obsessed. It is the end of Wrath of Khan. All you gotta do is
It's
watch
all about
Wrath of Khan.
sushi at the end.
All you have to do is watch Jaws, with respect to Quint's story in Jaws.
Mhm.
But and even, there's other films too. We can think of parts of Event Horizon, a little tiny bit of Jurassic Park, when you're talking about can you control nature? We can't. So anyway, I just, it's a little
Here's a
force
question.
fit here.
So I'm breaking it. Question. Jay, have you ever read Moby Dick?
I have not. No.
Have you ever heard of Ahab?
Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly. And that's why I think they put it in that
Yes,
movie, because
yes.
Ahab is so iconic and you know the
Fair.
story
Mhm.
without reading the book because it's so iconic. I think that's what they did, and they're having an audio book. I think that's what they played. Because what other book would you have that is that one character is known, except for Jesus, if you did like that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be a few, but it wouldn't be relevant to this
Yeah.
story. So I think you're,
Mm.
I think you're right. I don't know if the device of him listening to the same book over and over again, because
Mm.
I don't even know, and I'm certainly zero expert whatsoever. I don't even know if that would be consistent with the 12 steps to continue to pull yourself back down into hopeless obsession by listening. Maybe it is, I don't know. But I couldn't figure the fit here. I see what they're trying to do. For me, it doesn't work, but that's okay because I'm just me. I'm not everyone else. I give the film a 5.75. I'm going with the 7.5s. I struggle between a 5.5 and a 6, so a 5.75. And it is a recommendation. And for a sports film, I think it's a great sports film. And it's a film in a sport that doesn't get, there's a lot of baseball movies out there. And there are, a number of, films around other sports. And this is it for MMA. And I think it's kind of cool because I know nothing, as you can tell, about MMA, but I really did enjoy the fight scenes. And I did enjoy the film. I did.
Okay, fair enough.
Go on then, Jake. Let's see if you like one of my movies.
For me, this was another first-time watch. And I'm going to try not to re-say everything that I already said during the stream.
I'm just going to one thing is Jade likes this movie, just to let you know.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
You're in a bad book, so.
So I'll try not to go over too much of the stuff I already gushed about in the actual, film club episode here. But I just think so many things are done well in this. I think overall, I look at this film as it's so much more than a sports movie. I think when you think of sports movies, you kind of have these very, vanilla kind of stories, usually underdogs, things like that, are fun. They watch, they give you the kind of rah-rah feeling. But this one, to me, just hits on such an emotional level. And not even from, experience or like my own personal experience, relatability to it, because I did not go through, this kind of family growing up. I was, very fortunate to not deal with the things these two brothers have dealt with. But just the way they convey the emotion of what the story is through their acting, through the dialogue, through the writing, it took me on an emotional ride as if I was going along with them. I just thought they did such a good job at making that feel so real and so relatable, even if it's something for like you've never faced in life, which I'm one of those people who haven't. So I can only imagine what it feels like for somebody who has similar stories they could relate to watch this and see, how they feel about it. Because I just think they do such a good job at making it feel real. And on top of that, it's just the stories, I think to a degree, yes, it's simple in the sense of, it's a broken family and they use a metaphor of, fighting and sport to kind of find a way to get to healing. The idea of, through even every tough fight, you still heal up on the other side of it type of thing, or you can still heal up on the other side of it, sort of situation. I think it's a good metaphor and all that, but it's just such a emotional story, such a real story. So I do like it, even though it's not maybe the most complicated. Writing wise, I think they did a phenomenal job. Like I said, the choices of dialogue versus no dialogue, I think was great. The way the actors brought script to life, I think was phenomenal. As I said earlier, I love the way they don't really tell you everything. They just give you what you need to know in the present to try to fill in the blanks of the past. And I think they do that absolutely phenomenally. Nick Nolte is a huge part in that in his performance, because if he doesn't get across the feeling of just pain and remorse and regret for the things that you've done simply through the persistence in his attempt of getting forgiveness, the movie doesn't really work. So he really, to me, and that's not to discredit Tom or Joel Edgerton, who were both phenomenal in this as well. He's just, to me, the heart of this movie in almost every way, from the acting to the emotion, but as well as just the family dynamic. He is the cause of the pain, and he is the one trying his best to put it all together. And like we kind of mentioned at the end, even if it means he's still on the outside looking in, he kind of puts it back together in a way. And that's his little piece of solace of like, okay, I've done something. Even if I'm not going to be a part of it, at least that part of my family has been mended in some way. So to me, he's like the driving force of this movie in terms of his acting, his role in it, in terms of the writing side of it. And just hats off. I think he did phenomenal. It's actually the only thing I've ever seen with Nick Nolte. So I don't even have any kind of preconceived memory or old memories of what he's been in or what he's done acting wise. So to me, I'm like, oh man, I almost want to see more of his acting now, because I think he was just phenomenal in this. The sports stuff, I think, all well done. To be totally honest with you, as somebody who's kind of a casual to the UFC world, I think it all felt authentic and real. I don't think you needed the Ivan Drago type of big bad guy in this. I think you could have done without the whole Koba story portion of the story. As much as I'd love to see Kurt Angle in it, I just don't. I think Brendan's character could have gone up against any other fighter the same way Tom Hardy's did. I think they just kind of wanted to give him in that semifinal match. A bit of like a recognizable villain, the same way he had Tommy had Mad Dog, which was somebody we picked up from the beginning of the movie. It's almost like they wanted to make sure the semifinal match had something for Brendan too. And I don't think it needed it. It kind of felt like a lot of buildup for a character that just got tapped out. So it didn't really make a ton of sense. I think any character could have gone in there and gave Brendan's character that beating and still him come out on top with a tap out, and it would have been just as fine. Not a huge critique. That's kind of like the only thing out of the fighting stuff. Otherwise, I thought all the fighting stuff and the setup of the matches and all that was good. But it's kind of just the backdrop of the movie. It's the backdrop and a bit of a metaphor. It's not really like when you see some sports movies, it's usually about that sport. This is not a movie about that sport. It's about the characters. It's really a character-driven narrative type of movie. It's all about their family. Not even so much what they've been through, but more of the repercussions in the current day from what they've been through, plus how do they move forward. And I think they balance the way they tell the three perspectives of the story really well also through the direction, again, the writing. I know I keep saying the writing, but I just thought it was such a good, well-written movie. But the editing as well, the choices, the spots where they bounce back and forth between Tommy's current day life and Brendan's spot where he's at, as well as mixing in the father's, where he's at in those parts. Jumping back and forth between the three always felt like it was at the right moment. And then the times, like we said, with the casino scene, then the hotel scene, they choose not to jump back and forth and go to tell Brendan's story. They choose to stay on this one, which I think was a great call. So knowing when and when not to go back and forth between the brothers and the father, I think was really well done. So kudos to the editing there. I'm trying to think what else. Sound, I think sound design in the movie was really good when you go from some of the silent parts in the in-ring fighting, plus the music over it, things like that. I'm running out of ways to gush about this movie. Needless to say, I loved it. I thought this movie was awesome. I'm giving it not a 7.5 or an 8. I'm giving it a hard, solid 8. I don't even feel like I need to put it in a bracket today. This was, to me, a solid, really good 8. I couldn't recommend it enough. I'll be watching it over and over again. As soon as I finished, I went upstairs to my wife. I'm like, that movie just took me on an emotional ride that I wasn't expecting. You got to watch that with me. I just didn't think it was going to have that layer of depth to it. And it did. And a little bit of me, I will say, I'm happy I watched this now in my life instead of when I did. Because I know everybody does the whole cliche. When you become a parent, your perspective changes, things like that. But watching this as a parent now versus had I watched it when I was younger, it just gave me a different perspective too. I think it just made that emotional impact drive home. Because you just, I look at my little boy and I think, what could ever make a family break apart like that? Like the things it has to take to do it. I think it just really drove it home a little bit extra. So maybe another case of like, what a perfect time for me to watch this movie. But I mean, emotionally, it drove a point right through me.
So I think we need to have a count as well. I think that's the second movie that's been my pick you've liked.
Yeah.
Time Machine.
Well, I've liked many. Don't get me wrong, but this was one of the ones I've given a super high score. I don't think I've given many 8s, honestly, in all of Film Club. I don't think any of us have. So this was definitely a very solid 8 for me.
When I first watched it, I was like, wow, this is terrible. And now it's quite interesting, like you say about the, being a father, like me and Jade had a completely different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's really because I come from that kind of family. Like very broken, very estranged. Like I don't speak my father and all that is very broken.
Mm-hmm.
Where her family's really tight knit, like that.
And that's kind of where I come from too. So
and she had that, and I had that version of like like that. But we, having kind of what would you do with the Nick Nolte character? And I had that version. She had that version, but they were both correct. They were both like, they were both what you would do. And I love that. Like he is the glue to the film. Very much so. But I adore this movie. And I think, it's one of those ones where, you get like you watch sports movies and they are cheesy and they're like about the team, about the sport, and you go, oh yeah, and you get in the moment.
This is
and
so
then,
much more than that.
And then you go, you watch it again, and you go, oh, it's a good movie, but it's a bit cheesy, like that. This, I think, like I always think, oh, it gets better, and that's what I like about it. Every time I'm like, oh, you know what? I like this more, and I liked it more this time than I did last time, and I think that's what kind of makes me, because it draws you in. And Nick Nolte, every time I'm like, what really absolutely solid performance for him. And I got and it was the only time, when you watch an Oscars and you get, how did they not win?
Yeah.
How did they not win? And I got really pissed off.
I'm retroactively a little pissed off he didn't win. He was so good.
So it's one of those. Yeah, it's good. But I'm glad you liked my sports pick. It was either going to be like a slap shot.
You couldn't go wrong.
I did too.
But this was. I'm happy it was this one. Because I've really been meaning to watch this one.
That's it. Yeah. When I was like, oh, I can't believe you both have not seen it. So it had to be done. It had to come out of the bag off the wheel, I suppose, because that's it. But it got there. So I'm glad you kind of, Sandy. I think you're mid-range. And then
I'm glad you did. I really am. Now, I do want to mention one of the actors. So we, and I am a few behind now, but we do track actors who show up, and we mentioned again Mr. Witwicky. Now I can't remember his name, who will appear when we do watch Chaplin at some point. But does the name Maximiliano Hernandez mean anything to either of you?
Not off the top of my head, no.
So he's Colt Boyd. You go from Maximiliano Hernandez to Colt Boyd. Does the name Silvio in Sicario mean anything to you? He was
okay.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Sicario.
Trying to remember.
Doesn't look anything. I can't put his
face into the movie. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
think of
it doesn't look any. But if you check on IMDb,
what's his name?
When I saw his name, I was like, wait a minute. I know that name because I remember from Sicario that name. I just remember typing that name into the database.
I recognized him because I thought he was in the MCU, because I thought he was the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who ended up being Hydra. I'm almost positive he
Agent
is.
Stillwell.
Yes. Yep,
he is. Yep, he is.
But I didn't recognize him in Sicario. I have to look up his role in that, because I can't even put his face in that movie.
Silvio, the first bad guy who he's the first one who he was kind of the runner. Remember that with the little family? Silvio.
Oh, the police officer?
That's right.
Okay, yes. Okay, now I can get it. Oh,
that had
I didn't even recognize that. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yep.
Very nice.
So, we have so many films. We've now reviewed, I can't believe we've reviewed 65 films.
There is another actor who I noticed in this who will come up eventually on the wheel.
Oh, who's that?
The bank guy who's talking to
Brendan. Yes, what is his name?
I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he is in The Truman Show. He plays Truman's best friend.
Oh, really? Wait a minute.
I knew I recognized him. I couldn't work out where I'd recognize him. Of course he is, yes.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, I was like,
I happened to just watch Truman Show for the millionth time, like a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, rather.
Oh, my God,
And it was fresh in my mind.
The banker here as his name, right? Hopefully we see banker.
Let me check from Truman Show, because he's got to be high listed there.
Okay.
I guarantee I wouldn't even recognize his name.
No, I'm sure I won't. No. Maybe just from having already looked it up before. Noah Emmerich, and I actually do recognize it from having looked up this movie before. Noah Emmerich. He played Marlon in The Truman Show, his best friend there.
Nice.
Noah Emmerich. Let's see what else he's in. He is in...
Oh, coincidentally enough, Miracle. So, there you go.
Is it?
Miracle.
Always a circle. Always a circle. There we go.
But he's in the Murdoch.
I just saw that as well, Sandy. I actually want to watch
that. I followed the trial, and it's small town politics and lawyers are just so evil. They're just so scummy. The whole thing was just awful.
That's kind of just politics in its nature.
It really is.
Now,
it really is.
We're talking about people. Now, I'm going to say, because it happened today. So we've got our next is Jay's pick. And Jay,
and we're going for a total different vibe.
No, me, myself, and Irene. Mm-hmm. And then you said I was going to pick one of the Jim Carrey movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we had Dumb and Dumber shouted out, and I said The Mask. And I'm going to bring this up because Peter Green died today, who is the baddie.
Yes,
out of
I
The Mask.
saw that.
And
I saw that.
Zed is dead because he was the baddie in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he was only like
It's
60
not
years
been
old.
announced how he
Oh my
died.
gosh.
61.
Yeah.
60 years old. Yeah, found in
Oh.
Yeah.
weird circumstances. So yeah, he
Oh,
died
really?
today. But he was a character like everybody recognized his face, and he always
Mhm.
played the bad guy.
Yep.
Everywhere he played the
Yep.
bad guy. So yeah, I just thought that was we could have had The Mask, and then connection. But it is me, myself, and Irene, starring Jim Carrey and
Rachel Zellweger.
Rachel Zellweger. So here we go. This is the very soft, polite trailer.
Yeah, they really cleaned this one up. It's crazy.
I'm a highway patrol.
From the Farrelly brothers, the directors of There's Something About Mary, comes the story of Charlie Bailey Gates. All his life,
Sweetie,
he's been a pushover,
it's kind of dangerous. You want to move it up onto the sidewalk, away from the traffic?
a patsy,
I hate to bother you with this, but your car is going to have to be moved.
Park it up behind the grocery store, will you, Charlie?
a doormat,
You people take checks?
You mean the black man?
No. Those things aren't legal.
Oh, it's on now.
but inside every guy like Charlie, there's a guy like Hank.
Doctors have diagnosed you as having a split personality.
A schizo.
You've been avoiding confrontation. But this guy inside,
Hank.
he doesn't.
There you go, Dick. I parked it for you.
Her name's Waters, Irene P. I pulled her over for a broken taillight.
We'll have one of our troopers escort you.
20th Century Fox presents
Boy, you can't beat the open road!
the story of two guys
So it's true. Charlie is a schizo.
trapped in one body.
What the hell are you still doing here?
You can't get rid of me, Hank. Hey! You're only hurting yourself!
In love with the same girl.
I never wanted to sleep with you, Hank. You tricked me.
Come on, don't be mad.
I warned you about that, buddy.
Warn me about what?
Charlie?
Jim Carrey,
Look, I'm not here to twist your nibblets.
What?
Sound good, candy bands.
me, myself, and Irene.
I mean, you should be furious. I just drop kicked you right in the face.
Hey, it happens.
I hate that trailer so much. It just doesn't do it justice. It's such a stupid movie. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Sadly,
just
you've not
stupid
seen it, have
funny,
you?
and it just doesn't.
Oh
do
yeah,
it
I've
justice.
oh no, I
No,
actually
you've
haven't
not seen
seen
it.
this one, but I was just going to say the music. That's the music of my college years. So
Yeah.
I do like
True
the
fires,
the
it
music
It brings
in
me
the trailer.
back. The even just the
Everything,
trailer style with the narrator over it and all that. It just brings me right back. But I'm actually looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've watched this one, and
It's not a
I
Christmas
can't wait.
movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
No,
It's,
no, not at all. It's quite the opposite. This was the era of just those like raunchy comedies. So I just, as a kid growing up, I have to check the year it came out to know exactly how old I was, but I wasn't old enough to be able to watch rated R
2001,
comedies. But I was,
2002,
oh
must
yeah, I
be.
wasn't even close to old enough yet. But I was still, it was, you know, when you're a kid, you're in your, you know,
2000.
early teenage,
There you go.
2000. Oh yeah, God, I wasn't even close. So it was, you know, you're a young kid, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, watching movies that are, you know, rated R comedies, American Pie, all those types of things. So it was that era of the raunchy comedy. So it might not be for everybody, but it just brings me right back to that era.
Excellent. That's it. So, but yeah, everybody do your homework. Do your homework. So that's it. We got our first Jim. Is it our first Jim Carrey? Isn't it? Yeah, that's our first Jim
It
Carrey.
is our first Jim Carrey.
Yes.
That's it.
I don't know that there's too many Jim Carreys on the,
No,
on the
not so.
wheel. That and Truman
Now-
Show.
You have Truman
I
Show.
can
yeah.
guarantee. What does Daryl want on the wheel?
A Western. Let's see if we get it.
It's got to be Die
Andy.
Hard. We need a Christmas film. Die Hard.
Let me die hard.
Would this wouldn't make it in time though, right? Will this
No,
one miss
it'd
it?
be the
Yeah,
one
this
after.
would be the week
It'll be
after.
close enough though. Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right, should we
Still
do
in
this?
the 12 days? Yes.
There we go. Okay. Should we do this? Should we do this? Let's do this. There you go. Western straight away, Daryl. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Sorry, I'm going to stop. It has to be Sandy's pick because it was my pick, Jay's pick. And
So
you've
we'll
got
see.
a
Keep
bit.
the pattern going.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oop. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, it's a
okay.
heavy one.
Movie.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
an
hard
Is
emotion.
this mine? No, this wasn't
I
mine.
don't
Was
know
it?
who put this on.
I
Sandy
don't
kind
think
of
I did.
You put
I
this
might
on.
have. I mean, it's a great
Sandy.
film. I might have. Let's see. Who put
You
it
got to
on.
read a book.
Oh yeah, I've read it a bunch of times. So it's a serial. You know, I have when it was initially released. Stephen King was number one. He hadn't lost his mind. But number two,
Yeah.
he was toying around with doing like old fashioned serials, like where you had to wait for the next one. So I have them in all the small.
Oh, do you know
I
what?
honestly
I'm
didn't
gonna-
realize this was a Stephen King story.
Let's
Yeah.
see, the
I-
Green
My
Mile.
niece hasn't seen this. I'm gonna make her watch it with us
Oh,
because she's a
okay.
crier.
Oh, no one.
Get
You
ready.
know what? I
She's
have
a
it marked.
proper slobber.
I have it marked in red because no one owned up to putting it on there. It might have
Ah.
been me. It could have very
So it
well
might
been
be
me.
I don't think it was me,
Yeah, maybe.
but
Yeah, I know, I
I'm
know.
I'm
would have been one
like
of us,
kind of
yeah.
leaning towards me because I think I put a Tom Hanks
Mr.
movie or two
Bojangles.
on there.
Just put Mr.
But I
Bojangles.
don't think
put it
I
on.
put this one.
I might have. It
Oh.
probably was me because I was probably putting all of my, my favorite Stephen King movies are not the horror films. It's Stand By Me and Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. It's all the ones that aren't the silly
And this
horror.
is our second or third? No, our third. Tom Hanks.
Oh
Yes,
my
because we
gosh.
did Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah,
and
and
If you
Castaway.
can,
and now this.
Castaway.
Has there been anything
It's
else where he's
okay,
had a
boss.
small role? I don't think so.
okay.
Michael Clark
Oh.
Duncan, R.I.P. God rest his
I'm
soul.
gonna cry.
Oh,
He was in
God
this
Oh,
one.
I
bless.
just
What
fell
a
to tears.
great performance by that man.
Sam
What a-
Rockwell in it.
Sam Rockwell,
Oh.
yeah. Sam Rockwell.
Oh.
Sam Rockwell is such an underrated actor, in my opinion. I think he's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. Yeah.
That's why I say I've got to watch it with Jade's niece.
I don't think
She's
my
never
wife's ever
seen it,
seen this,
and
so I'll have to
she
watch
is
it
a
too.
proper like
Yeah,
what's it,
blubbering and all that.
no, she's like she watched Prison Break. I've never seen it and cried at the end.
It's a
of
good
Prison
show.
Break.
Well, the first season was
Proper
good.
weep
It tails
like
off.
that at the end. I was like, really? But she's
So
a
for-
proper screamer, crier. I was like,
Oh.
this is gonna get you. So I was like, we've got to. And she was like,
So
Jade's
for
like, no,
anyone
it'd be
who's-
horrible. It'd be horrible. Like just to make somebody who's never who's a proper.
Yeah.
Just don't even give her the heads up that it's like an emotional. Yeah, let's just
No.
watch this. Yeah, Tom
This
Hanks
got me-
movie. It's a cool one from the early 2000s. Don't give her any heads
No.
up.
For anyone who's not seen it and who's not from the United States,
What's
it
his name? Who's the? I forgot. He's not like the. Don't give it away. He's died, hasn't he?
Michael Clark
Michael
Duncan
Clark
died.
Duncan, yeah, he
that's it.
passed away a
died
few years
like
back.
quite a while ago. It was like really sudden, wasn't it? It was like
He had
boom.
a very, I think he had
Yeah.
an enlarged heart. I mean, he was a big guy.
Okay.
He
and-
was Kingpin in Daredevil. Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But good
for
one.
anyone
Oh,
who's
that's
not
gotta be
seen it or doesn't know,
3.5 hours.
Not sure. I don't think that long.
So sorry, Sandy. Go on, Sandy. Go.
please don't say it's 3.5 hours.
I don't
that's
think
too
so.
much
A
pressure.
long movie.
For
It's a
any
long
who
movie.
haven't seen it, who don't aren't from the United States and maybe don't understand the history of that time in the South, reading To Kill a Mockingbird is a good kind of not prequel, but it's a good pre-read for The Green Mile, or at least kind of looking up some of the history of the way African Americans were treated back in the day in the South. And it'll give you some insight, because it's hard to watch this film without the historical context and understand like why essentially people are allowed to make up stories and juries don't care and they just convict, frankly, the first Black man who was on the scene to help someone. But sadly in our country that happened way too often, and it inspired the book To Kill a Mockingbird, and it also helped to inform Stephen King when he wrote The Green Mile. So it's good to have a little context because it helps you overcome like, wow, this makes no sense. Why did they convict this guy? And why is he, oh my gosh, he's, going to death row. It helps to understand how horribly discriminatory things were here in this country back then.
I say we're gonna go on a emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
with the next 3
what a
months.
ride, Warrior, Me, Myself, and Irene, and The Green Mile, and it is in
Yeah.
fact 3 hours and 9 minutes. So buckle
3
up.
hours. I knew it was over 3. Yeah,
I never knew that. I
It's
thought it was like a
long
2 hour
movie.
20 movie. I didn't
But
realize that.
it's one of those movies where it needed to be. It needs to be.
It's been
wouldn't cut that.
probably
I wouldn't cut that movie.
at least 15 years since I've watched it. I haven't watched it in ages, so I will be able to get kind of somewhat of a fresh take on the runtime of it and whether or not it works for me, because I don't remember. I remember liking the movie, but I don't remember it enough to be able to judge it.
It's one of those movies I don't want to say, like I say it because I know what's going to happen. Not gonna spoil anything. When it comes on, I get sat down and I get dragged into that movie. And then I go, no, going to turn it off.
Well
no, I can't do it.
Well
I can't do it. I
acted.
just can't do it to myself. But yeah, that's
I just
whoever
remember-
put it on. Oh, that's good.
It's another one.
Jade's
where-
gonna love. It's one of those ones. I know Jade's. I want to watch it, and I hate that I've got to watch it, but I love that I'm going to watch it. And it's one of those. Oh, that is. Yeah, this one is emotional roller coaster. Yeah, where we had. Yeah, this is. Oh,
It's also
I can't
it's
say
a
anything
shorter
more.
book than the film. It's just like Shawshank. It's just like Stand By Me. Stand By Me was a novella. It was tiny. It was a short story. Stand By Me was Rita Hayworth and Shawshank was Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. And Stand By Me was The Body. They were shorter stories, and this set of books are short compared to the length of the film, where you've got the Stand, which is huge and it's a mini series. But I always, when I think of The Green Mile, I always think of reading the book and turning the page to a chapter that was entitled "The Bad Death of Edward Delacroix," and I'm not looking at it. I remember it in my head because when I saw that, I knew what was going to happen. And it's so for those who've seen the film, I won't give it away, but one of the guards is quite evil and quite sadistic and does something to tamper with an execution. And as I was reading the book, flipping the page and seeing the title of the title of the chapter really gave it away. The Bad Death of Edward Delacroix. I just never forget flipping there and like, oh, do I have to read this? And yes, I read it. So yeah, but I mean, at the end, it's gonna be a toughie. It's gonna be a toughie.
What would you class as sci-fi? You have to, wouldn't you?
Fantasy, it's not sci-fi. It's more of a fantasy. I think fantasy.
Yeah, maybe fantasy sci-fi. It's still breaches that kind of gap,
Like
doesn't it? It's not like
supernatural, kind of like when I was
it's not
talking
like
about
the other ones.
Crouching Tiger being
paranormal,
fantasy / supernatural, paranormal.
Yeah, probably closer to that than sci. It's tough.
Oh, the thing is, you literally have to gear yourself up for this movie. Has your wife seen it, Jake?
No, she's never seen. Well, I shouldn't say no. I'm assuming no because she's not a huge movie buff. She likes movies. She just kind of needs somebody to be like, oh, we should watch.
She's gonna hate you. You're gonna make her watch it and go.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna see if she'll agree to watching it or not. We'll see.
I'm sorry, but it's one of those ones you're like, I'm sorry, but I'm so grateful that you've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, that has got to be the best way to do it. Oh, we got some. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't expect that. I forgot that was on the list because you're like,
I know.
Ooh, that's a movie. That's it. We've got a couple on there, and that's one of the. Oh, everybody's gonna be like, that's the point. I cried. Just there, just there. We don't have to say anything else. Oh, great. Oh, that's great. But yeah, so that would be after Christmas. What a pre-Christmas movie.
Yes, no kidding.
Okay.
Sure.
we
Me,
try
Myself,
to
and Irene the week before and Green Mile after. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bring you up, but you never know. We get something else. We might this year. Can we get in? I don't think we can. Sorry, I don't think we can. Can we hold it? No, sorry, Daryl. We can't get our Western in this year.
We're out of time.
So
We're out of
2026.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
the
right.
Westerns
Because
might
Year of the
be a
Western.
streak. Yeah, maybe the year of the Westerns.
We'll start January off with all Westerns.
There we go. Yeah, like 10 in a row or something. Yeah, that's it. And you'll be like, oh, why Westerns? But everybody, I hope you've really enjoyed this back. We're back after Sandy. But Sandy, the algorithm hates you. YouTube hates you. What you got going on?
It does. The algorithm has completely forgotten my channel. But I was out today a little bit because it was a beautiful below freezing but beautiful blue sky day today. I don't think I'll get up. Who knows if the spirit moves me tomorrow morning? Maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah, look for me. Definitely doing a few weeknights around Washington so we can check out the lights, because there are plenty of places where we can see holiday decorations, including we'll do the White House Christmas tree and the National Christmas tree at the at the U.S. Capitol. So yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy, Daryl?
Oh, that's awesome.
Insane.
Yeah.
That is wacky.
Congrats.
I know. Well, thanks to everyone for watching and joining me on my little rambles. Even through London, had a really great time checking out some architecture around London. So planning my next trip already. Jay, what are you up to? I saw some gaming, Jay. I saw
a little bit of everything lately. I've been getting on some reviews, some kind of opinion things, a little bit of gaming playthroughs. So a little bit of everything on the channel. I still haven't been able to find the perfect way. I've been kind of doing some playthroughs because it's easier to like play a little bit of a game and then edit it all together. So it like makes one video versus trying to find the time to find like a 2-hour window to stream at least. So until that can kind of open up more, you'll probably be seeing some more playthroughs and things like that. But the usual reviews, you know, the whole deal. Just keep an eye out for the channel.
No. Did you play Dredge?
I've been a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. It's such like a nice little wind down, cozy type of game. I'm really enjoying it.
It's very addictive, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, it's simple,
really
but it's fun.
It's a lot of simple
fun.
little fun game. Yeah.
So what
I
is
think it was
it?
like
When
$10 too. It was a great deal.
When I saw you playing it, I got confused with the other one you're doing on the water. So what's Dredge?
It's you have to fish, but there's a paranoid like something at night that doesn't allow you to fish. There's something going on, so you have to do artifact runs and stuff like that. But it's I can't explain. Jay had the best way to explain it. I don't know how you explain. It's a lot of fun though, because you get like sharks attack you, spirits attack you, and you have to work out and then upgrade your boat to certain ways. It's a little fun.
It's a cozy kind of little bit of a I don't want to say scary vibe. It's got a little bit of a like mystery vibe. Like, what's the whole those nighttime things and all that?
Yeah.
But it's more of like it's a cozy kind of little indie game. Honestly, it's like nothing crazy, nothing simple, but it's a lot of fun. I love the art style of it. It's a really cool little game.
Yeah, the only thing I got scared of now and again when the shark comes up, you
get a jump scare.
Yeah, that's it. Because you don't
it's a lot of
expect it
fun.
to come up. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I kind of it's one of those games I've got to the end thing. I just want to max it out. I'm really enjoying it. I don't want it to finish.
Right.
Like the developers need to do like a 2 like that because it's a good concept of like the gameplay is really simple but very enjoyable, and I like that. So hopefully the developers do something else. But I just want to max out the game because I'm really enjoying it. Apart from that, myself, I've got to send a human to wherever on the rocket ship on the last caretaker. I got that. I did like a 4-hour stream, and I was pardon.
Is that the end? Sending the human?
It's not even the end. Steve keeps saying you've got much more to do after that. But it took me 4 hours just doing the cabling. So I had to do it offline, and I worked out it took me another 2 hours of cabling. So I've done the cabling to get everything ready to do that. So that will be my next stream. Definitely sending the human because I've got it ready, and then we'll find out what the next bit is. That is for the money. That is probably the best value game I've played, just because it's so epically, if you like doing that kind of grind, sorting, making, and how they've done the kind of the next bit, the developers, like what's it called, the roadmap. It looks so awesome. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Just value the money is great, and it's a lot of fun. And also, I'm going to play the cricket game because I need to tell Jay how to play cricket.
Oh God,
So we're
I
doing that.
legitimately have no idea what's going on in that sport.
It annoyed me because the only reason I got that is because I was looking for the NHL game, and the NHL game said it was going to be on Steam, and then they pulled it, and it's only on Xbox and
Oh, no kidding.
Xbox and PlayStation again. And it's literally the 12th year in a row, and everybody went mad. And they're like, it's the only game. Like, why is that not on PC? So again, apparently it's on PC. So I was like really pissed off. I can't play the up-to-date hockey game. I was like, "Rah!" on PC. And that's it. I might do what I might do is once I phased out the cricket game, I might do the baseball game. I might try a baseball one.
Real sport, America's pastime.
There you go. Everybody was like, what? No, what is going on? I don't know how to do it. So
Speaking of baseball, Sandy, your team just stole the player I really wanted. You guys got Alonso, which is really unfortunate.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
we wanted a draft or
no free agent. Really good first
trade.
baseman. Just came from the Mets. And
I don't know how this become NFL. You're gonna have to tell me. What did the Ravens do in 2 games ago? Because it all kicked off over here and we got it on that like things. Apparently there was a big something. One of the Ravens did something wrong in one of they won against somebody, and one of the coaches went absolutely hysterical on the other side because the Ravens won.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I might have missed it myself. I'm not sure.
It was
like 2 games ago, 3 games ago. Who did you beat? Was it?
I don't know, but the real controversy here was potentially, I'm saying allegedly allowing Lamar Jackson a few weeks ago to practice when he wasn't fully recovered from an injury yet, and then not reporting that correctly is a huge deal. And so we got a huge fine. We were in a lot of trouble over it. The perception is that we were trying to cover up and allow him to practice when he was still injured. And then he went back on the injured list at the last minute. He's all okay now, but that was the big controversy that a couple of weeks ago. I don't know anything about it. I'll have to check that out. I'm not thinking.
I'm
not
sure
what it was. There was a big. It came over here. I was like, why is that on even our news? Apparently, literally the coach on the other side absolutely went ballistic at the referees. It's funny to watch.
Never super surprised
because
when that happens,
literally,
I can't think off the top of my head.
No, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, why are we getting that over here?
No, not even thinking.
But now because it's a sports movie, we can actually talk sports. We're allowed to.
We have Patriots play the Ravens, I think, in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. We got the Bills this weekend.
The Patriots are at the top now, aren't they? After they had a bad
You sure are. You sure are. Top of the AFC. Feels like home. But we have, I think, Buffalo this weekend, and I'm almost positive because the Ravens Patriots game got flexed into Sunday night because I think it was like Miami and Cincinnati were supposed to have the Sunday night football game,
and nobody.
And the NFL was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna put the Patriots. We're gonna switch you guys around."
Who's the favorites for to reach? I guess.
Honestly, there's a lot of parity in the NFL this year. It's pretty wide open. The kind of two dominant teams from last year, or at least the last few years, with the Eagles being really good last year. They're kind of just all right this year, in my opinion. And I think a lot of other people's. And then the Chiefs aren't good this year. As of right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, they wouldn't be in it. So it's pretty even across the board.
So, were you're American? There we go. It's all
we're AFC for Ravens and Pats.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a wild card. I'm gonna go for the Redskins. I'm going to call them Redskins.
Oh God, no!
Oh no, they're terrible this year. They're not even going to make the playoffs.
No, I'm going to do it. Yeah, wild card though. Wild card.
No,
that's why I said wild card.
It would be extremely wild.
I will not call them the Commanders.
I had heard they might switch back because some Native American foundations have really been like, no, we liked that.
If you had to change your name, what's an awful name to change it to?
Well, you should have seen the first name. Crap. The first name they changed it to when they just changed it and didn't know what they wanted to be was the Washington Football Team.
Yep, the Washington.
So they were that for like 2-3 years.
They might have been called the Monuments. Okay, the names they had were just
they were awful,
stupid. But I was actually at an event.
Go Pack, go!
It wasn't
Packers, Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Green Bay, yeah.
I was at an event that wasn't intended to have anything to do with American football, and it was a Native American history event. that I went to, and it was fantastic. And it was all about the native tribes that lived here in Maryland, Virginia, and Washington. And it ended up with the tribal leaders going off on the decision to change the name of the Redskins
Yeah, I've heard
because
a lot
of
of that.
the affinity that tribes have to colors, and black, gold, white, and red mean something. And so, and that I'm not speaking, I am not Native American to my knowledge. So I'm not going to, speak on it. But at this conference, what I witnessed were a number of high-ranking tribal officials who were like, frankly, really tired of old white men making decisions for Native people. And yet another one.
And in this case, old white women complaining about the name.
Oh my God, exactly.
But didn't they? What is it? Chicago baseball team. Is it?
You mean Cleveland? The Cleveland
Cleveland,
Guardians?
yeah. Cleveland was the Indians. They've now changed to the Cleveland Guardians.
The Guardians. Yeah.
There's a whole movie. There's 2 movies. I think there's 3 movies about them.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, and Sandy's in it.
I'm in Major League too. Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
In the crowd.
Tiny Sandy.
Can't even see me.
Yeah,
Somewhere in that mass of humanity.
No,
yeah.
That is I wonder how many Washington fans go by the new name, or they still refer to the old
what's
name.
crazy is like that old branding for them was iconic because they were a really good team in the 80s. It was a really popular franchise. The logo was iconic. It was recognizable. So I don't know. I mean,
didn't they win it in the early
now
80s?
Is just a
the
W.
early 80s, like 90s, didn't they?
Yeah. The 80s, they were a good team and they did really well. And they were, it was
them in Miami because
Miami
was the big ones coming out.
You would see people across the country wearing, Washington gear.
They won a Super Bowl.
It wasn't just like they won and nobody cares. Like they had some pull. They were a popular team. And
who was the quarterback? It was Doug. He only won like 1 Super Bowl, and then he wasn't with the Redskins for very long. Oh my God.
It wasn't Flutie, was it?
Oh God, no.
I was gonna say I didn't think he played there.
No. Oh, I can't remember it, but it wasn't one of the big famous quarterbacks. It was like another one who just happened to be there the year.
See, Jay, if you picked Ace Ventura, we could have been talking about American football all night.
Oh yeah, Marino's in that one, right? Or the Marino.
Oh yeah,
the Marino thing.
Yeah, trying to make it like
the laces were out.
The laces were out.
I don't mind that movie. It's not my favorite Jim Carrey, but I don't mind that one.
Doug Williams. It was Doug Williams. I had to look him up.
Okay.
Doug Williams, and then Joe Theismann won 1 and lost 1. And oh my God, if you're American, if you say the name, if you're a sports fan and you say the name Joe Theismann, you get in a little bit of pain. James, do you know what a Theismann is?
No.
So Joe Theismann, quarterback for the Washington Redskins, Lawrence Taylor, defense for the New York Giants. Look it up on YouTube and be ready to wince at this injury. Lawrence Taylor goes, I think it was head first into the quarterback's leg, and you see the leg snap completely in half on television.
Great.
Oh, there's one. Celtic player.
It's a horrible one to watch.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward. He snapped.
If you ever want to watch the weirdest ever leg break, it's Swedish player Lars Hendrick played for Celtic. He was running when he kicked the ball, and his leg snapped in half.
Oh, well, God. There was an American
he just kicked it. Nobody around him. He just literally went to kick it, and his leg literally from the shin snapped, and his leg just went.
I think it was Dave Duvecki, the pitcher for the I think San Diego Padres. I can't remember. That was another one as a kid. Dave Duvecki just pitching a ball broke his arm, and you could see the arm just do that. And it was they found. I believe I could be wrong. I believe they actually found he had bone cancer, and his arm was just kind of wearing away. And in a way, thankfully, that injury helped to discover.
Who was that? But the worst one I've ever seen. Sorry about sports injuries. The worst one.
Now we're going on a terrible.
It's the ice hockey goalie who literally there was an accident, so they slid in and sliced
don't tell
his
me.
neck.
Don't. I know.
Was it Plekanec, was that his name?
I can't remember. Yeah, that was.
You
that
gotta
was,
think.
I know what you're talking
bad.
about. I just can't remember the player's name.
Oh,
I thought it
completely
was-
fluke
I thought it
accident.
was
Like these,
Plekanec or something like
it
that.
Yeah.
literally
Plekanec, maybe.
3 players just collided. He went down for the puck, and he was just.
Oh, that
That
one
was
was
it. Oh,
scary.
but like what in the British ice hockey player died, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah, that happened a few
they
years ago.
done him for
Awful.
manslaughter, didn't they? They
I'm
tried to do him for
surprised
manslaughter.
that didn't happen more frequently.
Well, no,
way
but the
back
guy
then.
kicked him in the
Well,
neck.
yeah, that was.
That was
He
a
should have got
crazy.
done. Yeah,
that
it
was
was
crazy.
literally that was bad. Killed him, didn't he?
Poor
So,
guy
yeah.
who died.
Yeah.
The guy who
Who's
I
that?
think passed away was a former NHL player too. I believe he played for the Penguins at some
Yeah,
point, maybe.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
played. Yeah, like couple
was
of
an
cases,
awful,
like,
awful story.
drafted like low, but yeah, it's
I'm just thinking about the days when they didn't wear helmets in ice hockey, like, and
the good
that-
old days.
Mm.
The good old days when
Crazy.
the good old days when the goalies didn't wear helmets or pads. You see?
Imagine being a goalie in that era. Terrible.
Like,
Oh.
what is that about? And I was like, yeah, like Jay's got a Boston Bruin puck, and I was like, them things are heavy. And every time I
Oh,
grab
they're
it,
legit.
I'm like, can you imagine that? Like,
Catch
no
one to the
padding.
teeth. Oof.
Oh, just like then you can see like the old one, like the black and white pictures when they just literally mangled up, aren't they? You're like,
Mhm.
they're like damn hard, like guys. Like, how the heck? Like, I'm going against that part, and like back then, like okay, wooden sticks. I'm guessing like against what you got now, a little bit less flexibility, but they're still going like 50 miles an hour at you.
oh,
and
for
just,
sure,
like, a slap shot. Oh,
100%.
terrible.
Now, instead of bobbleheads this week, Jay, the Washington Capitals are doing nutcrackers
Oh,
for the
nice.
players. So the Alex Ovechkin nutcracker, like, and it's
What's
funny
that?
because it's a nutcracker, so the mouth opens and they're missing teeth.
That's great. That's awesome.
that is funny.
It's great. I think we all have enough bobbleheads around the house, but yeah.
I always love that when you have like all the different American sports and you have the ice hockey players and like, all their teeth are missing, like with this good looking girl. It's like that.
They're not in it for the teeth, that's for sure.
Oh my god, you would have to, yeah. You can guarantee like you're gonna
Well,
lose
you're in
some
it for the
teeth,
money.
like-
I mean,
Oh yeah. When
That's
you're done,
good,
you
yeah.
just get a set of fake ones anyways. No big deal.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, I bet a lot of them just knock them out. I bet at some point they just take the teeth out, just put dentures in. Like that doing.
By the end of the career, when it's like I'm not gonna break my dentures either and have to get new ones every week. Yeah, knock the teeth out and I'll take care of it at the end of the career.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing that's what you would be an ice hockey player. You'd be like contract free dental care.
Yeah, seriously.
oh,
It's
for
free dental care.
sure. I'm sure that's like I think that's line number 1 in all of the contracts for sure.
Oh my
So
god,
that's what he looks like.
hilarious.
His little missing tooth.
That's great.
Oh, that is brilliant. I love that.
Are they
That is
cute? I want one.
I was holding a hockey
Well, they
stick
came out of
too, that's
nowhere,
awesome.
didn't they? Being bottom, they like won like a streak of like 6 in a row, didn't they? And then
Oh,
they're
that's
like
what we do.
second the top. And then I love our division, Jay, because we're flipping flopping. It's like like you win one, we win one. So literally like us, Tampa Bay, are like literally, and Toronto. I think it's like literally, isn't it? Going wherever.
I
mad.
don't know if it's just the Boston
mad.
sports pessimism in me, because I know I've lived through a good time and I've seen a lot of titles, but there's still that bit of me that just always feels like they're gonna fail me at some point. I can't buy the Bruins this season yet. I got to see more. I just keep feeling like the other shoe's gonna drop.
They're not
start
ready.
to plummet.
We're not very good. We're quick. We just we haven't got a goal.
Yeah, I don't.
But I still
don't
want.
see it in
I
this
say, and
record.
I'm going to be biased here. I still think that the best is divisional titles. Boston, Montreal, them. Give me that all day.
Oh yeah,
that thing. It won. It was better than the. Than a Stanley Cup final. Sometimes
I was just gonna say, literally, was just gonna say the 2011 Stanley Cup, the round against the Canadians was so much better than the finals against Vancouver.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah,
it was fit,
ridiculous.
but that's when you got those rivalries. That's how it is. Because
But
even
that's
in
it. Like as a
04,
Montreal
beating the
fan,
Yankees was
really,
better than
like
the
we.
World
I
Series.
hated that we lost it, but I appreciate it now. That was a hell of a series.
Yeah.
That was a series, and then Boston, and they go win it. You put your hands up. Yeah, you deserved it because you beat the best team. You
Right.
didn't like, and I say sometimes in like America, sometimes you get that Western are the best and Eastern are the best, and that was when all the Eastern teams were the best.
Yeah,
It was like that, but yeah, that was what a series.
the
And then
rivalry is just
Harry
make it like
Price against. Oh, who was your keeper?
Oh
Goalie.
God, Tim Thomas.
Yes, when they
Tim
had
Thomas,
that
and he
fight.
was standing on his head that entire playoffs. He was
When they had
unbelievable.
that fight, it was just like, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Yeah, everybody else is go. Let's go. Let's do it. Then. Like, why not? Goldie's fighting is the best thing in the world.
No, that was an awesome series. I'll never forget that. Like I said, that series was better than the Stanley Cup Finals against Vancouver. 100%.
Yeah. But he had
Well, I'm
what's the
thrilled
old big
to
man.
report that the United States Navy has just scored in the last minutes of the game,
Are they
beating
gonna win?
West
Oh,
Point
nice.
17-16. Go
Oh,
Navy!
I was pulling for
Okay,
Navy
we do
too.
have a Go Army in chat. I did see Daryl earlier say Go Army.
Go do your push-ups, Daryl. Go do your push-ups.
I was quietly pulling for Navy here as well through some family ties, so that's good.
There we go. Go Air Force. They'll never do it, do they? I don't know why they don't do it. Like, just do a best of 3. They don't even do it over here.
Well, they do have what's called the President's Cup. And so that could also, it's for the best record, I believe. So it's not just Army, Navy. So if Air Force has a good year in something, then they.
Ah, there you go. That's why.
Oh,
there we
off.
go.
Thank you for your service, Daryl.
Oh, thank you, Daryl.
Hold it. Can I just say thank you, Daryl? You're an old fart because then you just outed your age.
Daryl, if I said you joined the Army before I was born, and I'm the oldster here.
Oh, what happened before that?
I'm the oldster here.
Oh, this is why Daryl knows so much. He's been around the block.
That's awesome, Daryl.
Nothing wrong with a little wisdom.
Service.
Agreed. Thank you very much for your service, Daryl. As always, appreciate that. Oh, no kidding.
Oh.
That's awesome.
No
kidding, Daryl.
Hold it. So then you left in the 2 years. Okay, so you did more in Air Force. Do you know we actually have a tri-service medal if you do all 3? You can.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if we have anything.
I know.
Really
I only know one person that I met has ever done it. They were like did 9 years, and they were like, yeah, what?
Wow.
So yeah, but it's normally Royal Marines because it's part of the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Then things like that.
That's so cool, Daryl. Thank you for your service, man.
Thank you, Daryl. Wow.
I was going to do all 4, but got too old. Is your 4 then Marines' class is different?
Correct.
Yeah,
Marines
I think it's 4
branch
separate.
service.
Right?
Ah, that's weird.
Technically, Coast Guard now is a separate branch, and the U.S. Space Force is a separate branch. So we technically have.
See, that's under my branch. My old thing is under that.
Interesting.
That's
it began under the Air Force. Now our Air Force is moving from Colorado. Our Space Force is moving from Colorado Springs to Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
No kidding.
Our ones, yeah, they're upgrading High Wycombe and Fylingdales. Fylingdales. If you ever know, Jay, this is the best story. So in the Cold War, the Americans you have a look at RAF Fylingdales. It's the biggest radar in the world. It's ridiculous. And the Americans went, the safest place, RAF Fylingdales, it's like a peak. And they were like, we want to build a radar that can look into China so we can see all the airspace movements.
Mm-hmm.
So the Americans went, we'll pay for the infrastructure, we'll build it. And they're like, the British took the money, and then the British went, built their own one, looking at the Americans.
Oh my God.
Took the money, and they kicked off. They all Bush Senior, they all kicked off, and they went, no, if you're spying at them, we want to spy at you. So they literally went, you can get that data, but we want to see what you're doing. So there's 2 radars, but yeah, the Americans got really pissed off. We're like, no, what?
Fair enough there as well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we're going to look at you then. If you're looking at them, we want to look at you, what you're doing. And
I thought we were friends.
I
thought we had a special relationship.
Yeah, and I thought that is that is one thing. Yeah, you just paid us to build that to look at you, to see what you're doing as well. And it makes sense. But yeah, it was quite clever. But that's always there. And a lot of let's say Karens go there every summer thinking it's a nuclear weapons site, and it's not. And they only in the summer, summer when it's very, very, very good weather. Otherwise, they don't go there.
Right, because your causes don't matter when it's inconvenient to you.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Bad weather. Oh, got to stay.
No, the cause doesn't matter today. It's a little drizzly out.
But yeah, sadly, is that game over then? What's the score? Sorry, again.
17-16.
Nice.
And how long ago is it gone? Is that it?
It's just ended a little bit ago. Yep, it's done.
Oh, what a score. Interesting.
Final.
See, I always laugh with the in the army. The army normally win against the navy rugby, and the only reason is we the army they can get Samoans, and the Samoans come over to just play rugby.
Just for
So they
No
serve
kidding.
in the army, and they're just sports, and they're just there to do. I think they have to do minimum 6 years, and then they retire back in Samoa with all their cash. But they just come and play rugby and kick the crap out of everybody, go back,
That's
retire
a
on a
big
beach.
deal.
That's it, yeah. And so yeah, they just come out, and that's it. Like I knew one guy who was, he was literally once he had bought his house, and they were building it on the beachfront in Samoa, in year 2, because that he saved up all his money, and I mean not a lot of money. I'm probably $8,000, and he had to build like this 4-bedroom house in Samoa already. So when he retired, when he retired, and he was retiring at like 28.
Oh, that's a
And that
really
was him
good deal.
done for the rest of his life, because the exchange was ridiculous. So yeah, and that's it. He just came over to play rugby and get the crap out of people. He played rugby. It's like, okay, there we go. Fair enough.
That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, unless the shit hit the fan. There we go. But otherwise, from that, yeah, play rugby. That's it. So I know people played. I knew a guy who was that good at golf, just played golf.
Yeah, that's not a bad gig either.
That's it. Just I'm representing the Royal Air Force at golf. That was it.
No
that was
shit, huh?
yeah. So yeah, you get those. Yeah, it's like, but that's it. Like Sandy said, when the Olympics used to be amateurs, then most of them come from the military, didn't they? They used to be like military people, like especially like the winter sports. They used to be military people, didn't they? Like who,
college
you know,
and military.
Mm-hmm.
I had a gal on my floor at the University of Maryland, who played basketball in the Olympics, and she brought her medal in one. I got to see an Olympic medal.
that's
it was
so
so
cool.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. For everybody geeking out about sports, because it's sports day. It's sports day with Film Club. But everybody, I hope you've had a great welcome back to Film Club, and you got your geeky nerds on. So you got a lot to ponder. You got me, myself, and Irene, and then brace yourself for the Green Mile.
Brace yourself for the Green Mile.
Brace yourself for it.
Be ready.
But everybody, have a great rest of the week. And if we don't see you for me, myself, and Irene, have a great Merry Christmas.
Yes,
and
yes.
That's it. And I hope one day Daryl gets on Santa's knee and remembers to wish for a Western film. That's it. You're not old. You're not too old yet to still wish for that, Daryl. Just to let you know. But everybody, have a great one. We'll get there. That's it. Well, maybe we'll get Toy Story. That's got a. There you go. We must have Toy Story. That's got a cowboy in it. There you go. It's got a cowboy. Come on, it can't be Woody. But everybody, have a great one, and we'll see you for me, myself, and Irene in the next one. Have a great one, and for now, bye.